Hopefully everything's going to work. Hi, everybody. Sorry we're late. It's all my fault. Blame it on me. Blame it on me. I'm a little out of.
You need to move yours up a bit.
Yeah, I need to aim it up.
I can. Looks like mine might need to be moved up.
I was like way in the camera there. Got my face way in there. How's everybody doing?
Your face right there.
Yeah, I'm way into it. There we go. I'll just move me like that. Yeah, I was way close there. Sorry we're late. It was my fault. I did some reorganizing this past week of our main show files and things. I caused a lot of problems for a try, and I didn't mean to, and then I realized that the pre-stream stream graphics were not in the place where they were, so I had to recreate it really quick, or just relink the files rather. So it took me a little bit.
I didn't get anything done on Tuesday because my computer had to resync everything.
Well, as I explained, I wanted to make it so that our main show files, the syncing folder of that was as light as possible. So I moved some stuff into other places, and we use a network attached storage to share our files that is located here, and it's treated as a cloud storage for Try.
Yeah, it's basically like Dropbox, except it's in your house.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a little messy, but
everything seems to be good, and I think that
it's all good now.
It's just I tend to get a little carried away. I really like to reorganize my files and optimize the stuff. I think that's maybe why I enjoy DVD authoring and Blu-ray authoring so much as well.
Mm-hmm.
Where I just like to streamline it and make it as easy to find as possible. I have these external hard drives where I back up all of my B-roll and my G-roll. We call our gameplay footage G-roll. And I have everything sorted by system and then subfoldered into if it's a mod, it'll say what it is, or if it's off screen, it'll say HDTV or CRT. All this other stuff is layers of folders, and I get a little out of hand with it.
Well, see, I sometimes my philosophy is more as few clicks as possible to get into the folder I need. If it's so many layers deep, and then sometimes I feel if you're not looking at everything from a certain episode or a certain shoot at once, then there are certain things that you'll forget to look into. It's I should have used that, and you forgot about though because it was under all these other folders. For me, I have for each episode I have a folder for the VO and on-cam stuff. I have a folder for music, I have a folder for B-roll, and I have a folder for G-roll, and everything just goes in. If I'm gathering stuff for an episode well ahead of editing, then I will put it in a folder. For example, before I sent Dan my Wii to get the Wii Dual in it, I recorded, because that Wii has sharper component video output than my launch Wii, and I wanted pre-mod, I wanted some examples of what it looked like for GameCube games and what it looked like for Wii games. I do have another Wii that has the same video characteristics, but it's not compatible with GameCube games. So I wanted to get a variety of clips that I could use for comparisons in the future. So I did put because I want to remember for sure what this is.
Right.
So I put those in a folder. Once I'm actively editing the episode, everything that's B-roll goes in one folder. Everything that's G-roll goes in one folder. And the downside is then it becomes hard. If I want to pull some things out of that folder to archive for later, it's this was recorded with the NES RGB through the OSSC, and this was recorded with the Carby on the GameCube. It's going to be really, you can't, sometimes you can figure it out, but a lot of times it's I don't know what this was recorded with. But in the moment, if you're just using it as you need it, it's it's not that hard to just have everything in one folder. It just goes faster for me. I start most projects with good intentions and organization, but it quickly becomes just a catch-all folders.
I mean, for me, it's probably like things do get a little unruly at the very end of an episode, but I think it's just like my years as an assistant editor that makes it so that I'm way big on organizing stuff as possible. Anyways, I'm going to play some Mega Man 8. I'm going to be playing on a CRT and RGB, and you guys are going to be watching the PS1 digital feed.
Does the PS1 digital interface come up while you're...
I can make it come up on the digital, but it does not come up on
the
analog out. No.
On the RGB. I was just curious.
So I've never beaten this. I thought that I had, but I realized yesterday that I didn't because I was on my PS3 for some reason, my old PS3, and it has a save game from when I played through the time where I thought that I finished it from years and years ago. It's the PS1 Classic download, and it looks like I only beat the first 4 bosses.
Oh.
In that, so.
Yeah, well, you're
I'm not planning on beating it tonight, but I mean, we'll see.
No, it's longer than the NES games, so I don't think that's super doable.
Yeah.
There was the first super chat of the night was from Andrew Advent. Was $6.99 Canadian. Thank you. Asking, try to use the component ends on your AV receiver for any consoles. No, I don't. Some people have asked, and unfortunately, I've never really been able to give any clarification on how the Denon receiver performs, with
any scaling
of component video or anything like that. But I've never done it because it's everything anything that's analog is already HDMI before it gets there. In fact, I'm not even using anything analog. The OSSC is upstairs now. Everything down here is HDMI now. OSSC and analog consoles are upstairs. But even when I was using the analog consoles and the OSSC down here, it was HDMI before it even got there. Because I didn't see a reason to let it potentially do something I didn't want to the signal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat. Although I've thought about ways that I could get it to work, but it doesn't. I mean, unfortunately, I think the components only work if you have it upscaled. Like if you have the upscale set, it just doesn't. You can't just set them to pass through the signal, I guess. At least that I've found out.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never really tried. One thing I did used to do with my old Sony AV receiver, which I still use upstairs. Although I might.
I like the bass is like, shut up! Shut up! Sorry, I didn't mean to make you lose your train of thought there.
Yeah. My old Sony receiver, it's kind of got an unusual... I believe somewhat unusual capability on it that it outputs composite and S-video over component. Now, obviously, there's some sort of color conversion happening, so I'm not really sure how accurate it is. But, for what I was doing at the time, it was profoundly convenient, to run my NES and my Super Nintendo and other systems through composite and S-video and output them component to my TV and also output them component once I started streaming in 2008. I had this really wild system, with the Diamond VC500. I had this really wild system where how did it work? Did it do dual component output? I think it did dual component output. Or no, maybe that was when I got the is that when I got the impact switcher at some point, maybe? You know, that has the dual component output? I don't remember. But at any rate, I had component going to that old Sony HD CRT. This shot of Dr. Light on Rush, we've used that many times to show interlacing failures.
Yeah.
There's de-interlacing failures.
Quite a few donations we gotta go back and get that we've missed.
Oh yeah. Well, before I lose my train of thought, I'll finish what I was saying about the component stuff, because we were talking about first donation was asking about component through an AV receiver. I had component going into this thing that could output anything that was progressive via VGA. And then I had a VGA to S video converter, which went into the Diamond VC500. So that let me play stuff in like 480p, 720p, all kinds of resolutions before you could get an HDMI capture card. It was really weird, but obviously I was just enjoying those signals for my own sake, and the stream didn't look like that. But anyway, there was also a $10 super chat. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
From Casey Cantwell.
Thank you.
I'm sure you can't better than you think you can, Casey. Thoughts on proprietary batteries affecting preservation?
This is something you've thought about a lot lately.
Or controllers. I can't play my original 3DS and PSP anymore because the batteries blowed and knockoff replacements are unreliable. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I actually took, like a month or two ago, I actually took the batteries out of every PSP I have, which is, I've got one of each, 1000, 2000, 3000, go. I don't have a PSP Street. Someone was trying to, I was trying to arrange a sale with someone on that a while back, and I kept forgetting to check the email, and it went back and forth over a period of time, and I can't even remember where we ended up on that. It would be nice to actually have one of those to have every. That was a model that was only released in Europe, I think. But actually, it turned out all my PSP batteries seemed fine, but it just seemed advisable to go ahead and take them out because I don't really see myself using them portably, in a place where I couldn't plug in anyway, going forward. So, for now, I just took them out. I can put them in pretty easily if I need to, except for the PSP Go. I kind of wish I didn't take that one out because it would be not as easy to put it back in. But yeah, I mean, I don't know much about the knockoff batteries, and if anyone is going to make a good version for that. I recently had a similar experience with my new 3DS XL. Out of nowhere, I discovered that the battery lasted 10, 15 minutes on a full charge. And I bought one of the new ones off of the Nintendo's online store. And it was easy to replace. I put it in, but I was kind of looking before I did that. Does anyone make a back, just a thicker back plate or a custom back plate for a 3DS system that has you could just put in your own AA batteries? Maybe you have
Is Cloudman not Cloud? Is it Cloudman or Cloudman, or is it Cloudman's the first one you should start with, right?
I do Cloudman in 7. This one I'm not as familiar with. I forget if Cloudman is easy.
I feel like I'm gonna start with a big guy.
Okay.
Someone says Grenade. Is this Grenade Man? Who's who? Is this Grenade Man? That looks like Grenade Man. All right. Someone says
maybe
Contra Riser. I assume that might be Bill Riser himself.
But yeah, so anyway, like I think that would be a great idea because I very much have come around to, you know, Microsoft's way of thinking of having, you know, giving you the option to use AA's on Xbox controllers. I would love for someone to make like a mod for like DS, 3DS, and PSP, and even like DualShock 3 controllers or something like that. Like make a custom back half, like, you know, a new back half of the system shell that has room to, and you know, the slots to just put, I don't know how many it would require to run these systems. I mean, I don't know much about the power requirements, but I think that would be a great idea. I want to say, I was listening to the Retro RGB podcast a few weeks ago. I want to say Bob said someone came up with something like that recently for the Sega Nomad.
Yeah. That Laser Bear.
Yeah.
Has that.
Like that would be amazing to have for PSP and 3DS and systems like that. That would be great for preservation. I mean, obviously you can continue to play these systems plugged in, but you know, so I'm not worried about completely preserving the system. But it would be nice if you could use the battery, and I think something like that, if it could be designed for these other handheld systems, that would be fantastic. I'm getting into some rambles on the super chats tonight. There was $2 from Jonathan G. Thank you. Saying, oh, Sandy is napping so peacefully. She's all tuckered out. I would do what I did in that one video, where I say, I don't think you understand the gravity of the situation. Voldar's back. That got Sandy woken up. I don't think you understand. I'm just teasing. Are you a sleepy puppy? You're a sleepy puppy.
What is so? Is it possible to buy all the things in the shop that are?
Is it possible?
Yeah. Is there enough bolts in the game?
Well, yeah. I assume you can revisit levels. And I assume this game does not do the thing where you have to start the Wily stages again if you like go to the shop after starting. I don't know. I haven't played through this since I beat it on the PlayStation 2 Mega Man collection, the anniversary collection. And there was $5 from Jonathan Henson. Thank you. Saying, my Japanese Saturn and mode arrived a couple of days ago. After installing, the first game I played was Mega Man 8. It's a quick and easy, you know, game just to get started playing, you know?
Yeah, not only that, but I mean, it's just like such a good looking 2D 240p game.
Yeah. Especially for the system, yeah. I mean, you know, I've often said I prefer the overall sprite design of Mega Man 7 more. I feel like I'm in a minority there, but I feel like Mega Man's like standing still pose in this is like really boring looking, and I love like he just kind of has this like posture in 7 that just like looks like he's like really ready to go and ready for action, and he has really snappy movement to how he runs. And on this, it's like almost too smooth. He's just like run along all smoothly. And Mega Man 7, he's all like this. It's great. I'm confusing Sam.
I feel like the levels are a lot longer in this than they are in other games, though.
See, Golden Cane says, my problem with 8 is the animation. Sprite quality is quite good. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. I feel like the animation is like too smooth, and the poses just lack lack any dynamic. I don't know what words I'm searching for, but the poses just don't feel as dynamic, and it's almost too smooth. I don't know.
I feel like
I think very few people agree with that. Mega Man 8 seems to be much more popular than 7. But I have a soft spot for 7 because 7 was my personal first exposure to Mega Man. But I definitely think, especially I think with maybe, I don't want to stereotype as, this is a game that is popular only among younger people. But I think people, especially who might have been too young to play the NES games, and then, they played this, most likely on PlayStation, maybe Saturn. I feel like this is the one, especially, you save, it's a little more convenient than passwords. Same with like Mega Man X4. X4 is very popular. I think it's good, but I don't love X4.
I knew that was gonna happen. So how do I get this guy? I bet I have to. I just think about how I could get him to light that other, the other wick that's over there.
There was let's see. There was five. Let's see, where am I? Oh wait, no, I'm 2 pounds from Pedro Lax. Thank you. Any thoughts on the Game Boy Mega Man games? I actually do want to get more of those. I've got Rockman World 5, because that's the only affordable way to get Mega Man 5, and as I suspect a lot of people here would be aware, that one, Mega Man 5 on Game Boy, is the unique one, the entirely unique one. It's totally original Robot Masters, level designs, doesn't recycle anything. And it's actually quite a unique game.
It's fairly pricey, the Japanese version.
Oh, has it gone up? I think I got it for like $30.
I thought it was expensive.
When I got it, I would say, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, I got it for like $30. I want to say I bought it from, I might have bought it from Carlson. The convention. Who, usually has good prices, but Japanese version may have gone up, but I mean, that game is fantastic. It was, a few months ago, I actually did, do some playtesting on the other Game Boy ones, and they seem more interesting than I thought they would be. But they definitely aren't as interesting as 5. But one thing that's kind of interesting is that, they blend bosses from 2 games each. And
it's close.
That also means, like, so I mean, you can be fighting bosses from 2 different NES games, with a mixture of weapons from 2 NES games. And also, like, that also means, like, the second Game Boy Mega Man game has the slide from 3. And then I think 3 might have a charge shot. I forget. So it gets interesting. The weapons in 5 are quite different. There's some sort of like punch glove that behaves a little differently than
instead of its charge shot. Yeah, it does. It like accelerates very slowly.
It changes how you play the game a little bit, and it makes it feel kind of fresh. So I really like that one. The other ones, I've come around to kind of wanting to give those a bit more time. The first one didn't seem all that good from what I recall, but the others definitely seem to have some worthwhile stuff going on. But I'd like to give all of them a good play someday. There was also dude, what does mine say? With a hedge, hay or whatever. It's a thing that they have on the wall when you walk into IKEA.
Yeah, I have a shirt that says that. It's
oh, you do that? The IKEA.
It's like Swedish for hay.
Yeah. With 25 of those, I assume Swedish bucks. So thank you.
Thank you. I don't think I can get this. Is Rush even in this game?
Oh, sure. I don't remember what he does, but I mean, he's got to be in it in some capacity. There's no such thing as no Rush after starting with, what, was he Mega Man 3? I think he was introduced.
Yeah. I mean, you don't start with him.
Yeah. And then there was Fish Hook FPC with $5. Thank you.
Thanks.
Saying, hey guys, big fan of the show. Thanks for showing the Blue Bomber some love. Also, if you think 8's levels are long, 11's are epics in comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, I really, really need to make it a priority to play through 11. I streamed it, like, I think it was...
You did not have a very good go of it.
I was very much caught off guard by how hard it was.
Yeah.
And a big reason for that was, just as you say, the levels are long and it takes a lot of effort to get through them. The checkpoints can be quite spread apart. And I want to say I beat one boss in the entire stream, which was not the kind of progress I was expecting to be making. I was kind of discouraged and didn't continue it immediately at that time. I liked what I played, but I think I needed to approach it anew, with kind of this understanding that, okay, you need to be prepared for something that's going to be a little more time consuming and involved compared to, the previous Mega Mans. So I don't think I was quite ready for it at the time. I need to adjust my expectations. I really want to play it. I remember John Linneman calling it, Mega Man's Sonic Mania moment. He was just so enamored with how well made it was. And I don't think everyone necessarily agrees that it follows in the spirit in the same way as the classics, but from what I played, I definitely really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot more once I was playing it, like once I played the demo even, than I did when I just saw screenshots originally. I was just like, I don't know about how this works. But then once I played it, I'm like, okay, I'm pretty into the look of this. Yeah, I definitely need to prioritize that, I would say. There was $5 from Mitch B. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just tuned in. Mega Man 8 was my first Saturn game. Checking in if you got a chance to play Florence.
Not yet. Not yet. I've been like, I was looking for something kind of just laid back and just different to play, and out of nowhere I started playing Detroit Become Human.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so I've been playing for the last couple nights, and it's, I mean, generally you know what you're gonna get. with a
Sure.
with a game of like that.
Quantic Dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know opinions on them are mixed. I liked Heavy Rain overall.
Yeah, I mean it's.
I have not played Beyond.
Yeah, I
Two
haven't either. I do
Souls
have the
or Detroit. I don't even think I own that game.
I got the collection. It has Heavy like the PS4 version of Heavy Rain.
Yeah, I should have gotten that. I don't think I have it though. But I do have Detroit Become Human.
I mean, Detroit. It's a really good looking game. I mean, that's expected, but
I
just wanted something that's kind of, it's. It was just nice and easy to play.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, yeah.
A breezy experience, if you will.
Yeah, you just kind of follow along, all right? That's kind of an interesting coincidence because I just this weekend got my package from Limited Run.
That has the Fahrenheit in it.
I've been waiting on it for a while, but it has Indigo Prophecy in it, which I believe is just the PS2 Classic, as far as I know.
Yes.
I'm really curious.
Although I think I saw something about how they're actually coming out with a proper version of it.
Oh, really? I wonder how those run on PS5.
I have no idea. What are you sending me? Okay.
I'm curious about that. I'd like to play that.
Yeah, I mean it's just
soonish, maybe.
It just really fit how I was feeling.
Yeah. I mean, I've been playing Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, which is fantastic. Although, like, I've been doing so much side stuff in it, and I'm kind of like feeling ready to, like, kind of wrap it up soonish because, like, it's a pretty involved game. I mean, Musou games, in terms of the action combat, can be pretty, shut off your brain, right?
Yeah.
But, it's at the same time, it's pretty involved, and I've spent a lot of time with it. So I'm just kind of like, I'm really enjoying this, but I do kind of like want to play something that like maybe I'm not going to put as much time into next,
Yeah.
But it's great. It's really good. It's a lot of fun.
He does say "ouch" when I hit him with the grenade. I don't know if that's his weakness though. It doesn't seem like it is.
It doesn't seem like it. I want to say it was starting with Mega Man 7, where bosses would actually have, or maybe it was really some of.
It was Mega Man X, the first one. They gave you some visual feedback that it was their weakness.
Right, and not only that, sometimes
I'm getting preoccupied in using the stupid Mega Ball. The Mega Balls.
Sometimes, not only do they give like a reaction, but sometimes it like actually will either like, do something like, I can't think of a specific example, but it might remove like some armor or a body part or something and like prevent them from like even doing certain attacks, I think. In some cases, I can't think of a specific example though. But yeah, like I've always been kind of like torn on that. Like I can't decide which I like more. One where it's, it just does more damage, and then the other where like it actually makes like an impact beyond just more damage. I've never been able to really decide. I mean, I like both approaches, honestly, for different reasons, I suppose. Jimmy Hoppa's in the chat. He says the part in Halloween where the dad has to cut off one of his fingers was one of the most intense experiences I've had in gaming, more than any cave shooter somehow. I can understand that. I don't remember how I felt with that part in particular. But I definitely have had similar experiences with amputation in games, I guess.
Yeah.
I think one of the most intense experiences for me, I actually didn't finish it even, which is very unusual for me.
Was what?
Something I did not finish, which is unusual for me, was Outlast. I started streaming that a year or two ago, in October on the Backloggery, and for some reason Drum was just like not that interested in it, like from a watching perspective at least, and like the chat I don't think was that into it, but like I thought it was really scary, and they kind of just thought it was like a gore fest or something. It was not like scary, it was just gory something, and I disagreed. I actually thought it was pretty scary, and I continued playing it one night on my own since people didn't seem interested in me continuing to stream it later.
Mm-hmm.
And like not streaming it was just like too uncomfortable for me. Like I was very uncomfortable playing it by myself with no audience. Like it was I want to go back and finish it, but I thought it was very intense.
Well, maybe that might be a fun stream then sometime. I'll play it. I have the collection.
Yeah, well, the collection has 1 and 2 in it.
Yeah, and the like that side story or that.
There was we're getting behind on donations again. $2 from Warren Hokey, thank you. Saying N64 Paper Mario or 1,000-Year Door for first Paper Mario game. You mean the first we played or our #1 Paper Mario? The first I played was the original. I got it the day it came out. Same with 1,000-Year Door, which is good because those games are expensive now. Or I don't know about the original, but I mean 1,000-Year Door is pretty pricey, isn't it?
I think it is. I mean, I got 1,000-Year Door I was just walking home one day when I was still in New York. No, although, I have a friend who found a copy of Mega Man 8 for the Saturn in a dumpster in New York.
Oh, yeah, I think I heard that story.
But no, it's just a friend was, or not a friend, just like some person was sitting on their stoop in front of their apartment building, and they had a whole thing of GameCube games that they were selling, and I bought several. I don't know exactly what I bought, but I definitely bought a 1,000-Year Door for $10 at the time.
Wow, lucky. I paid the $50 when it came out.
I only played the first one on Virtual Console.
I've never replayed either of them. I loved 1,000-Year Door. I thought, Paper Mario on N64 was good, but it was always like, it's not Mario RPG 2, As I said in our year-end video. It was always like hard for me to get over that, I really wanted that Squaresoft follow-up,
Yeah.
And it's not what it was. I know that the picture I showed in that episode was of the game that was early in development at Intelligent Systems. I know there was never going to be a Squaresoft sequel. And I know that Alpha Dream was made up of a lot of former Mario RPG staff, but those games just never felt right to me. They were just never that fun. They felt like going through the motions. It didn't feel like real gameplay to me, if that makes sense. Like, it just kind of felt like you do this in this situation, then you do this in this situation. It never felt like there was like interesting choices or decisions to make about what you do in the game. And it kind of just bored me eventually. But anyway, you know, I would definitely say 1,000 Year Door is my favorite. But that said, like, it's been so long that like I couldn't tell you a lot of specifics of why I liked it so much. And now that I like really loved Origami King, I kind of want to go back and replay 1,000 Year Door, because it's just like, I think I like 1,000 Year Door the best, but like I couldn't really tell you because it's been so long. So like I would like to kind of revisit, and so I can figure out like maybe Origami King is my favorite. I mean, Origami King was really good.
Gosh, come on. When you have one life left, it's not even worth it to like continue.
I know the feeling. There was then very, very relevant. It might actually be for the best that I waited for a bit to read this super chat from Zrobeast saying, slide, jump, slide, jump, slide, throw controller in rage. Sorry if that was a spoiler alert. I mean, I'm sure you remembered this.
Yes, yeah, I mean,
jump, slide.
It's
jump. I can't.
It's more annoying.
Can't
is this the only time this happens in the game? I feel like this is probably something that probably shows up later on in the game as well.
Yeah, there is a segment like this in the Wily stages. I definitely remember.
Like, why even give me so many options to jump right there, or to tell me to jump? It's like,
it feels out of sync with where the warning should be.
I mean, it's just there's so much stuff going on that you can't even like. Don't even tell me. Just let me see for myself.
It's
I'm not listening to it.
It's one of the parts of the game I remember the most, and not for a good reason.
I know there's a $20. Is there?
One more before then. There was £5 from Engine UK.
Oh, thank you.
Saying, hey guys, can you say thanks to my girl Amy for letting me watch when I'm staying at her place? She's nearly asleep. Well, thank you. I'm sure Mega Man 8 maybe is not so exciting for everyone, but Engine UK appreciates it, I know. And then there was $20 from Mega X6. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying, here's to the best show MLiG on Sundays. Also to the first Mega Man game outside the X series I completed. You two are great. Thank you for all you do. Well, thank you. And, I don't think I 100% completed Mega Man 8. I can't remember if I did everything in it. I don't know if that's what you mean by complete, or if by complete you just mean like the first that you finished it all, that you beat. This was the last one that I finished. To be honest, I can't even remember if I finished this before Mega Man 9 was out.
Really?
Probably did. I probably because this was pretty early backlogging days. But Mega Man 9 was also, pretty early too. I mean, it was a relatively early WiiWare game, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Because I
thought I was gonna die there again.
I was working on the Mega Man games that I had not finished. Like kind of around the end of college. And then maybe a little bit after college too, because I mostly played them on the Anniversary Collection at that time. Because I didn't own like a PS1 version of this game until much later. Was my copy of this game part of that deal that you got?
I think
you
so.
Got Time Crisis Project Titan with
I'm pretty sure it was.
Deal.
This thing's
the
from
seller was like, well,
Mega Man X, isn't it?
Huh?
Isn't that thing from Mega Man X? It seemed like it was.
That whale?
Yeah.
Oh, is it in like the what's his name? Octopus's level?
Yeah, Launch Octopus.
Yeah. There's owls stuck in those ice cubes.
Yeah.
Oh, penguins.
Maybe they're icy penguigos.
Well, thank you very much to Mega X6, and I have to confess, Mega Man X6 is not a favorite game of mine, but if you manage to do everything in it, I commend you on your fortitude. That game frustrated the heck out of me. I feel like Mega Man is at its best when it is simple. That's just me personally. Like when it adds so many aspects and layers and sub things to do, it kind of starts to lose me a little bit. And there was $5 from Juice Polydot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying I wanted to ask that I need a 60 hertz monitor for XRGB, or can I have a higher refresh rate? Modern gaming monitors seem to be fast. I mean, I would assume that I don't know a lot about like modern gaming monitors, but I would assume they are compatible with 60 hertz. That would strike me as really weird if they could not be compatible with a 60 hertz device. I mean, can you hook up like a PlayStation to it, or like an Xbox or a Nintendo Switch or something like that? Like Nintendo Switch, like it can only do 60 hertz. PlayStation 4, Xbox One, they can only do 60 hertz. Aside from like, if you're playing Blu-ray movies, they can run at 24, but I would be really surprised if a gaming monitor was just like straight up not compatible with 60 hertz.
Yeah.
Or couldn't switch into a 60 hertz. I mean, that would just really surprise me. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like 120 hertz though, like obviously, 60 is divisible by 120. But aren't some like 144 hertz or something like that? I don't know a lot about that kind of stuff.
Like they really they bring it back. Like it's not. The one time wasn't enough. They gotta make you do it again.
Maybe this is why you didn't finish the game.
Maybe. Well, no, I beat this level before. Well, I'm out of legs. This is.
Let me see. Still trying to catch up. And then there was £2 again from Pedro Lex. Thank you. What's the most obscure currency you've had donated? Let's see. We've had the SEK several.
It feels like there's like serious input lag.
Really?
It just feels like I'm hitting the button and it's like I'm gonna do a different level because it's really obnoxious.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I think pretty recently we got a donation from Chile.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what the currency was called though. I think it was from Chile. That I mean, I mean, not an obscure country necessarily, but certainly something that I don't know the proper term for the currency. I don't think we've gotten anything from a country that was like, I don't even know where that is.
Well, people usually inform us if we don't know.
Yeah.
This music on this level is pretty good.
Yeah, we've had Singapore before. Can't think of what else. There was 2 Canadian from Breath of the Wild saying, is Mega Man 8 Saturn superior, or is that just a meme?
I mean, it has like extra bosses in it, like not.
Has, like, I guess more content, but isn't the game actually said to be slightly better on PlayStation, if I recall? Like I think it was made for PlayStation, wasn't it?
I think so. This is.
It's a game you would expect to be better on Saturn.
Yeah,
but
it does seem like each level kind of has like a gimmick, like more so than the older games. Like
yeah. Well, I mean, you know, and I'm sure for people who this was like, you know, their introduction to Mega Man, you know, which it was for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, they love that there's like more stuff going on, but like for me, it's just like, man, like nothing beats those NES games. You know, it's just the pure simplicity of it.
What's the big guy's name?
Otto. I think his name in Japanese is Raitot.
It's not automobile.
I think it's like maybe a play on Dr. Light. It's Raitot. CLP is Chilean peso. Yep, I think that's what we got that one time.
It was on Monday, I think, when we did the stream with John. Pretty sure.
Oh yeah, well yeah, and you know we actually did get a number of. I mean, of course, Chile is, you know, not too far flung from our time zone, I assume. But we did have kind of a different audience on that day.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Because you know, a lot more Europeans were able to be up.
I think that's something we talked about afterwards, saying we should do this more often.
The format worked really well, I think, aside from the fact that people were confused why the PlayStation version was sharper, even though I had labels on the top of the screen explaining how they were captured. I thought that would be enough, but it was not about comparing sharpness, video sharpness. It was comparing graphical features. And, you know, the Saturn version of Grandia is generally considered to be better. But that was a lot of fun. If anyone wants to go to anyone, you know, for those that aren't aware, we do have our streams archived on the public playlist on the front page of the channel. The individual streams are unlisted, but the playlist is public. And that was a really neat stream. If you want to go check it out, it worked out a lot better than I thought it would.
Yeah, it was.
You know, especially like playing an RPG, I wasn't sure how that would go, but we had a lot of fun with it. You know, I've actually gotten a lot of use out of the PS1 digital on streams already. And this is your first time really getting to sit down for an extended session with it.
Yeah, even though I'm not looking at it.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Through stream compression, but still. You know, speaking of Breath of the Wild, well, that being the username of the previous donator, I like really want to replay it. Like playing Age of Calamity now, because like recently there have been, like, I'm pretty far in now. I have no idea how far from the end, but I'm pretty far in. And there have been like some characters introduced. I'm just like, I don't even remember you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like, there's so
for as much as we played that game, it's kind of amazing. Honestly.
I know, as much as we loved it, like my images of that game, like my memories of the game, are more about the world and the exploration, but like the story and the characters left a much smaller mark. You know?
Yeah.
And like the main champions, I remembered. I kind of forgot some of their one or two of their names, but like the champions I remember, you know, the ones from 100 years ago. Like there's been some new characters introduced more recently. It's just like I felt really bad that I couldn't remember them. I'm just like, I have to replay this game because I feel so bad that I don't remember this. But that said, like, you know, there's a high likelihood the next game, the sequel, comes out this year. And I don't know if I want to spend, 100 hours on both of them this year. Plus, like, the Switch Pro or whatever could come out this year. And like, who knows if Breath of the Wild would have any enhancements for it, or what the enhancements that the system is even going to have may be. There have been a lot of rumors lately about what it is, and there's rumors that the chip inside is basically going to be the same thing that's in the Switch Lite and the current model of the Switch, but possibly at higher clocks, and that the 4K output might actually just be an upscale thing that's part of the dock and not the system. So I have no idea. Those are just rumors, but I have no idea, how compelling of an upgrade it'll be. But
Jeez.
I suspect a game, if it does have, graphical and performance upgrades, I do suspect that Breath of the Wild would be a game that they would probably update to take some advantage of that. I mean, the Switch is 4 years old, which is crazy to think about.
When we're talking about batteries earlier, that's something that John had mentioned recently to me. He's like, he's like more nervous about like buying stuff on the Switch lately because he's thinking about the unchangeable battery in
it. Is it changeable if you like get into it?
Well, I mean, eventually one day there could be like no battery option for it.
Yeah, but I mean, my thought is
if it was playable without a battery in it, you just always play a dock, to be different.
Wait, I mean, can you?
If the battery is completely dead, or if the battery was to die, how do I avoid the tornado hole? Or maybe I can destroy it. No?
Oh, like something like a ground weapon of some kind?
I keep on doing slides when I mean the jump.
I mean, is there a problem with playing the Switch with no battery?
It doesn't work.
Really?
Yeah.
Like even docked?
Even docked.
That's kind of crazy. I wonder if someone will come up with a way to work around that. I mean, I was actually just counting. I've got 111 physical Switch games. It's really stupid. I mean, I love getting games for the Switch because it just feels like the right system for so many, like, especially more like classic style games,
Mm-hmm. Scroll up. Looks like I think we missed a whole bunch.
Not a whole bunch.
Oh.
Just two.
Oh, I see.
But yeah,
okay.
I don't know. I mean, that is concerning if the Switch doesn't even work docked without a battery, or if the battery just doesn't work at all. I'm sure people will come up with solutions, though.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, maybe, you gotta keep even when the Switch Pro comes out, maybe you gotta keep your original Switch plugged up all the time so the battery doesn't completely die. I don't know. I don't really know what the answer is because my 3DS battery going bad kind of makes me think have I been doing the wrong thing leaving it on charge? I mean, I know that if you leave something off charge for too long, that the battery can never recover.
Right.
So I mean, what is the answer? I mean, do you have to literally I mean, I don't know. Batteries are messy, and that's exactly why I said I would love an option for just having a new back shell. But I'm sure the battery is replaceable.
Yeah.
Technically, I'm sure. I mean, Nintendo stuff is popular to the point where people will figure out solutions.
Does anyone have any suggestions of what I should get? Is the auto shot
energy balancer?
What's that?
The energy balancer? That's always really important.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, like, also, and like, so the Mega Buster will be fired automatically while the energy is being charged. So it just automatically charges it. Is that? I assume that's what it's doing.
Oh, the energy balancer?
No, the auto shoot.
Auto shoot.
It says Mega Buster will be fired automatically while the energy is being charged.
I don't know what that means. While you figure that out, there was a $2 from Warren Hokie.
Thank you.
Saying Saturn PS1 compare idea, the first Tomb Raider. I don't know if either of us has a Saturn version of that. I don't know.
No, but I mean, with a mode, you can play it.
That's true. I don't know. I don't know how the Saturn version is. Like, I don't really know. Did John do an episode on that?
He did, yeah.
I can't remember if I watched it. I don't know off the top of my head, like, what the key differences are and what's supposed to be better. I do have the PS1 version of that, and like, I'm kind of intimidated by it, but also really intrigued by kind of the very precise platforming of
it's not that bad. It probably is more so in later games.
I mean, I think it's really interesting. Like, you know, you really have to think about and commit to your jump, you know, before you make it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I really, I find that, that idea kind of appealing.
Get some more bolts.
And then there was $5 from old EB Chill too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying, hi guys, I've been binging on your takeaway videos while I'm folding laundry. Do you not like to do those videos anymore? Take care. I mean, those are so old. You know, we had this idea really early in the channel that, you know, we wanted, believe it or not, this channel was founded on the premise of like, oh, let's just do short videos. I love short videos. I mean, it's so funny to say it. Like, you know, people aren't going to be interested in watching anything more than like 10 minutes tops.
Yeah.
You know,
it's so far from where it's at now.
I can't stop laughing thinking about it. Like, I know.
It's just the idea that it was founded on this idea. The way you said it, it's like it was founded on the idea of doing short video. Like it was a real priority early on. It's got to be short.
I know, Sandy. This is ridiculous. I know. It's so funny. But the idea of those takeaway videos was like just pick like the main points that you thought, you know, was what you were going to take away from it. Even before then, though, didn't we do one or two that was?
It was like a minute.
Yeah, it was like
like what do we call it? Like the like
sun, where you said that your favorite power was the neon,
and it was like less than a.
It was the defining moment or something like that.
Yes.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
We're like we're like, okay, we're gonna pick one thing that we thought was like
real cool about a game.
Our one favorite thing about the game that we're going to like remember. And Infamous Second Son, you said the defining moment was the neon powers.
Well, I mean, it's also that's not wrong either. That is the best part.
No, it was the best power.
Not that it has anything to do with anything, but.
But we're like trying to come up with all these ideas to make videos as short as possible. We just can't do it. We just can't.
How do I get to this thing? Do you know how I get to this?
You probably need some sort of firepower.
Are you encouraged to go back to like earlier levels, like later on?
Probably. I don't know. I don't remember.
I mean, I assume that that's what's going on here. You're encouraged to go back and get more bolts. But, I mean...
But anyway, bringing up, though, the old takeaway videos, I think you might have mentioned this last stream, but you're planning on releasing one of them this week. You started compiling this is based on an idea that Joe Redifer has done on GameSack, where what does he call them?
Well, he calls them Console Crunch.
Console Crunch, because like a bunch of episodes that focused on different consoles.
Oh no, he takes the episodes that are basically for like they're console episodes, and it's released them as like long videos that people can just put on in the background and this and that.
Right.
Not as like an official release, but just like they just show up and it's people can check them out if they want to.
Not new content, it's just it's
a super long video that people could just like put on if they want to.
Getting more eyes on old content,
Yeah.
And
or
it's
just
for people who like to put on stuff to binge in the background.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So you're probably gonna put one of those out this week, just as an experiment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean those takeaway videos, who knows? They could appear.
I think there is one in there.
There is one?
Well, later on. So I've taken them and sorted them out with different themes. And the good thing is, we have a lot of different themes that we can use. They're not just gonna be like RGB episodes as like one. There's gonna be like we're gonna start with like the How to Beat series. Hang on, I just let you talk because I just need to pay attention to this.
Yeah, you need to focus.
I think I did it. I think.
Yeah, we'll start with the How to Beat, but then there'll be others just like videos about Sega Genesis related.
Yeah, the Sega one is next, and then there's a Nintendo focused one, then a Sony focused one, and then there's what I like to call a grab bag, where it's just like random episodes. That's like things that don't quite fit into any of those categories, like video game VHS and controller adapters and stuff like that.
You have to keep in mind that especially a lot of the tech ones, there might be mistakes in them still. There might be outdated information, but at the beginning it says original air date, for some context. So.
Exactly, and that's just the way it is. It's like this is the.
It's just for people who want some entertainment in the background. It's not meant to be anything too serious.
And some of those early videos, like some of the videos that are in there, they only have like 5, 6, 7,000 views. So I think that it's some of the stuff would be like, oh my gosh, I've never even seen this.
I haven't looked at any of the How to Beat videos in so long, and I was like actually laughing. I mean, I think they're pretty funny. We did more. I mean, a lot of those I totally forgot we even did. It's so weird. Like they were very heavy on like Wii U and PS3 games because like that was when we launched the channel.
Right.
There's only one PS4 game, and it was Knack, and I feel like no one cared about Knack.
And now it could have had like a second life now.
I know, like no one cared about Knack when it came out, but then because no one cared about Knack and they made a Knack 2, suddenly Knack becomes this unstoppable meme. And I actually like Knack,
Rear Blood saying you probably edited out any mention of badass consoles from the GameCube and Game Boy videos. I don't think that there is badass consoles not mentioned in the Game Boy video.
No. Only GameCube. Yeah.
I could see. I mean, that probably won't even make it into one of those. If it does, we'd probably put the update video in there.
Yeah.
And I mean, by the time I get to doing some of that, it's going to be a little ways off.
The point is like we don't want to waste a lot of our time putting these things together. I mean, I don't think the GameCube video would make a lot of sense with like large segments cut out. I don't know. It would be weird.
And it's just, it's not even. Like,
these aren't meant to be the videos that you're getting your information from.
Yeah.
No.
They're just, they're like 3 to 4 hour compilations of videos that are just, people can put on in the background or do whatever, Because a lot of times if people just put on playlists, YouTube has a tendency to take people away from it. I've noticed. If you just like let something play, if you just go to a channel and you just like play something, it won't stay there. It'll just like start picking things from that are similar. Which is, I mean, I can understand why they do that, but at the same time, it's a good way to just, people can continue getting videos if they feel like it. I mean, I'm sure that at first there might be people like, why are you doing this? But I think that people might be surprised. They might be like, oh, this is like has all this stuff that I've never even seen.
I mean, the reason why doing it is it takes hardly any of our time, and it shouldn't annoy you because it's not getting in the way of us
certainly not. It's not in a way to like show off, like anything new, or it's not like people probably won't get excited about it. It's just a way for people.
I mean, honestly, some of the old stuff I find embarrassing to look at.
Yeah, but I think I don't think that we should feel bad about that. How did we get up there?
There was $2 from the JC Band. Thank you. Saying, have you thought about making any arcade content? I mean, Coury definitely wants to make an episode like on Super Guns sometime. We started a while back, but we didn't really have the best Super Guns to work with at the time.
Yeah.
And
I will be doing a video this year on arcade gaming at home. Like that's definitely a priority. I mean, when I finish this mode video, which, I mean, people might not be excited about the mode video because it's been around for a long time, but I kind of feel that it's not so bad because there's a lot of things that have been added to the mode.
Right, there's going to be a picture that wouldn't have been in the video if it was at release.
Yeah, exactly. I think people will like the fact that it has, it's going to have PS1 stuff in it. It's going to have PS1 support stuff in it. So.
Yeah. And then, after that, you're going to do the Mr. episode, which, naturally will have a lot of arcade stuff in it.
Oh, yeah. You've been using the Mr. a little bit lately.
Yeah, well, it's extremely relevant for Analog Frontiers Part 3. So.
Yeah. This week there was an update that allowed for the Mr. to use the .chd compressed CD file format. So I went through and did that to like all the CD games that I had on there, and it cut the amount of space that they take up in half. And it's supposedly completely lossless. But I freed up quite a bit of space.
There was $4.99. Thank you from Twerculosis.
I like that name.
Love you guys. Coury, I feel the input lag on wireless controllers, sometimes even on PS1 digital. Go on daisy chain PS1 controller extensions. I assume you're playing with a regular controller.
Yeah. I have a daisy chain.
I mean, you don't really seem like you feel input lag except for when
I was just jumping.
Slide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the way that segment is designed, I guess. But you're playing on PVM anyway.
Yeah.
You're just sending PS1 digital to us.
Yeah.
There was also $5 from Mike Sherry. Thank you, saying Sandy wants to fight Dr. Wowie. Sandy wants to fight Dr. Wowie. I see nothing wrong with that.
Who's this? The Vacuum Man? Aquaman. Aquaman?
And then there was 20 pesos from Lunita Productions saying, hey, why are you guys playing the PlayStation version, /face?
Just because I wanted to play the version that I owned, even though I could use the mode to do it, to do the Saturn version, but you know, I have the. It's good they have a save file in this too.
I mean, we were saying earlier, like I don't know a lot about the differences between the Saturn version and this version. I think they added extra content to the Saturn version, but if I'm not mistaken, the game was built for PlayStation. But I'm not positive. Don't quote me on that. But
it's so weird that Mega Man swims in this.
It is weird, isn't it? And honestly, I've always liked Mega Man's underwater mechanics.
Yeah.
You know, just that slow
and that's the super
high jump that he does. I love it. This is kind of different. How much is the Saturn version of this?
It's definitely over $100.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly.
I don't know about the Japanese version.
Okay, so I guess Saturn version has Woodman and Cutman as bonus bosses, and Tengu Man.
But you know, see that kind of stuff like doesn't interest me that much. You know,
I mean, I would be more interested in to see if it has like a remixed version of those songs, which is like the main.
Yeah, I mean that would be cool, but like stuff like, you know, I always think of like, you know, Final Fantasy Dawn of Souls on GBA. You know, you gotta have these bonus dungeons where you fight Ultros and stuff. Like it's just like that's not Final Fantasy 1. How does this fit into Final Fantasy 1? You know, like
right.
I've never been into that kind of stuff where it's just like, oh, we're re-releasing a new version. Let's throw some sort of fan service in. You know, like, I'd rather just something that follows the original vision for the game. That's just me. But, you know, on a technical level, I don't know that much about how the Saturn version differs. But it was very interesting, some of the stuff John was showing on Grandia. Like, for example, there are more sprite poses. You know, like Sue, for example, her purse is always facing the player. And you know, whereas on the PlayStation, on the Saturn version, she's got a different angles for where her sprite, you know, is either away from you or on, you know, it stays on the same side of her body no matter which way she's
Way too many
facing.
close calls for my liking tonight.
Same for you know, same for the other characters. So you know, that was definitely one advantage that the Saturn version had. But you know, the PS1 does have some other small advantages, like the transparencies on like the smoke effects look better on PlayStation. There are actually like shadows on the PlayStation version that are shaped like the characters. Like, you know, they, you know, actually look like they kind of project away from the character. Whereas I think on Saturn, I think they're just dithered circle shadows. But for the most part, the effects on Saturn are more impressive. The texturing is much better and more logically laid out on Saturn. You know, it is a Saturn game at its core, but the PlayStation, I think, is in most regards, you know, smartly adapted. You know, it certainly is not a careless port, in my opinion. You know, it's what you got in English, you know, so there's nothing wrong with playing it. I saw Vinicius say, try, so I guess you don't like Metroid Zero Mission. No, I love Metroid Zero Mission. Because it's like, that is a remake. or total reimagining. I have nothing wrong with that. You know, like Resident Evil remake, Resident Evil 2 remake. Fantastic games. Those are reimaginings. I'm talking where it's more or less a port. You know, like Final Fantasy.
Enhanced port, I guess.
More. I mean, that was more like a port of the PlayStation version. But the PlayStation version was pretty faithful to the NES version. I don't think it had any like weird bonus content. It was mostly the same game, you know, with some gameplay tweaks. It didn't have weird bonus content. You know, Metroid Zero Mission I see as its own game, independent of the original Metroid. You know, same with Samus Returns. You know, I know that's not everyone's favorite game, but I actually really liked Samus Returns. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought the boss design was very good in that. I thought the counter. Normally, I'm not that into like counterattack sorts of moves, mostly because I'm just not very good at the timing. But in that game, I thought it was extremely well implemented. I love remakes. Remakes are great. What I don't like is ports having, you know, just weird little fan servicey additions, like, you know, let's fight a bunch of bosses from another Final Fantasy game.
Right.
Well, they don't.
You don't like bonus content. You don't like extra stuff and.
Well, I mean, it's not like
games.
The extra stuff that is in the original game is fine.
Right.
You know, but like usually like with the side stuff, like it's, you know, it's envisioned by the original team, the original director, you know, it fits into the game. And then it's like another team handling the remake, and oftentimes the stuff just doesn't feel like it fits. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't always. Sometimes it fits in great. Sometimes it fits in great. But I'm just saying in general, Aquaman. That's great. In general, I'm just saying in general, I am suspicious of that kind of stuff. Stuff like Mega Man Powered Up. Like, that was a total reimagining of Mega Man 1, and it's brilliant. I love I thought that the newly added bosses are cool. Like, it works. It works. I'm just talking when it's basically the same game. Basically more of a port than a remake or a reimagining. Reimaginings are great. I love reimaginings. All right. And there was a $2 super chat from Jonathan G. Thank you. Saying, I'm playing this on a satiator into a JVC PVM. That sounds like a good time to me. I really do need to replay Mega Man 8 myself. I mean, you know, like I say, it's not my favorite. I prefer the NES ones, but, you know, I want to play it again. I like it. I want to play my actual, you know, PS1 copy that I have. You know? I mean, as far as I know, the PS2 Anniversary Collection is pretty good. I don't really know how it works. It's like ports or emulation or what, but you know, I don't remember it seeming like it had any problems. But I'd still like to play it on original hardware. There was also $2 from Gaming Blows saying you boys have gaming PCs. What's inside? I mean, our work PCs could be gaming PCs, but
yeah. Although
like, we don't really.
I mean, they can be gaming PC, but we don't do a lot of gaming on it. I will buy a RTX 3080 at some point when they are more easily obtainable.
Well, mostly
I want
it helps with editing.
I want it for editing. For those CUDAs. You need those CUDA cores.
You know, I mean, to be honest, My gaming PC is actually, the oldest, most out of date computer I have. It's got like an i5 from like 2011 or 2012, and what is it? Maybe a GTX 960, maybe?
Yeah.
I forget what it is. Most of the stuff that I ever play on PC, it's just not very common that I do it. Like, it's usually pretty lightweight stuff.
Yeah, I have my old computer. I just rehooked up my old computer after I was inspired by you playing the Zelda games, the CDI.
Yeah,
Zelda.
just like I play. It comes up mostly for like a stream or something.
Right.
Like playing those Zelda CDI ports. It's stuff that you don't need a crazy computer to run well.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, that's what I spend most of my time playing, like on my PC. Yeah, like Falcom games. Like I just want to be able to play like Ys and Trails in the Sky.
Wow, I do not remember this level at all.
It's really kind of weird.
Yeah. It's very surreal looking.
It's impossible.
Speaking of gaming on PCs though, I actually just got, I mentioned earlier I got a package from Limited Run. It was held up for a long time because like I had like 4 things in the order. And one of those things was Chex Quest.
Oh.
The big box Chex Quest.
Is there like an easier way to be doing this? Because it's not very intuitive here. It's like set up in a way to just make it really obnoxious.
It looks like the different colored platforms would like behave differently, but it doesn't look like they do. But anyway, I just wanted to do that because, I don't think I ever finished it back in the day, but I definitely enjoyed Chex Quest. I just think it's an interesting little game, and its history is interesting. And there was actually the insert in the actual jewel case within the big box actually has like a little article by Jeremy Parrish, that interviews one of the designers and talks about the history and importance of the game. Pretty neat little thing. I read through it. But I was thinking about actually streaming it next week. So I thought that would be a fun thing to stream.
That would definitely be fun.
Yeah, just go because I'm pretty sure I didn't beat it, so it is on my backlog, and I kind of feel like the time that I'm most likely to play it is like just after I got it and kind of excited about having it,
Yeah.
But what's interesting is I bought it like not having any clue how it worked, like if it was like actually like playable on Windows 10 or anything. It's just the original game as is, designed to run on like, I don't know, what was it, Windows 98 or whatever. So you have to run it through like a Doom interpreter like ZDoom. And I know that we used ZDoom when we streamed Doom on the Backloggery a few years ago. So I'm going to try to tinker around with that and see if I can set that up. And if I can get it working good, I'll stream Chex Quest next week.
That would make me go into the background or do something.
I think that'd be a fun thing to do. A rare PC game stream from us.
Yeah.
But yeah, the reason that we mostly game on consoles is just because we're just so addicted to physical copies. And
yeah, but I
like the predictability.
Yeah,
and
that's more
of the
for
console
me.
environment. Like I like that this device is here to play games, and like computers have always just been work devices to me. And all of the other things that you can do on the computer like kind of take me out of the game experience personally. Like I just want to be playing a game,
Yeah, I just like, I know that it's not really that much of a hassle these days. But there's like always little things that annoy me whenever I do try to play games on a PC, especially if I want to play on a monitor that's like not my main monitor. If I wanted to play on my TV over there, it requires a bit more messing around with stuff.
Yeah,
and I could only get it to work. I couldn't get like certain things to show up on different monitors, and then other times, like even if you do like a borderless really window mode and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, I just prefer to keep my gaming in the console space as much as possible. But I do play PC games every now and then when the need arises. As Warren Hookie points out, I did play that Mario 64 PC port, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I do have a Threadripper in my editing computer, which you do too. I think, right?
Yeah.
Same one, I think, which, my understanding is not very optimal for emulation, I think
that's what we've been told, yeah.
Intel is general. I mean, I don't know about like the new Ryzen, like the more standard Ryzen, the non-Threadripper ones. I don't know how good they are at emulation, but my understanding is, your single core performance is what you're really looking for emulation. I don't really have anything available too crazy for emulation. I mean, that old i7, there are emulators set up on that computer, so I can record emulation stuff like that way. I'm not sure how well it can run Dolphin or like PCSX2 or anything like that, though. I can't remember if I've tried on that, but I honestly probably need to, because I'd like to include some of that in Analog Frontiers Part 3. I might have to get someone to record some of that stuff for me. I did do that for someone helped out recording some PCSX2 for the big PS2 RGB episode.
I just like we'll just like throw this sinking castle or the sinking tower out of nowhere.
For some reason, this makes me think of that one level in Shantae Half Genie Hero. Like there was like a desert tower. Kind of looks like that. What's the boss of this level?
Is it Galaxy Man or Astro
no,
Man?
Man, Mega Man 9. Is this Astro Man?
Yeah. Astro Galaxy.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Astro Man was in also in Mega Man and Bass. Rockman and Forte.
I don't know why this part is like so freaking difficult to me. But it is.
Ryzen 5 2600 6-core 12-thread SMT can run PCSX2 very well. Final Fantasy X runs at full speed. I've got the computer I'm using right now. The computer I'm running right now is it's a Ryzen 5 something. It might be that one, 2600.
We have the same one, I think, right? It's a 1650.
Oh no. You're talking about the Threadripper.
Yeah.
We got like the...
It's like the first generation of them.
Gen 1 Threadripper.
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about my encoding computer.
Oh, okay.
The one that's only for streaming and stuff downstairs. I built this one on a serious budget.
Yeah. But I mean, you could probably play those emulator games and everything on that, right? Or is that you don't want to?
I probably could. It's just that they're not set up on. They are set up on that i5 one, that old i5. But see, this is a Ryzen 5 2600 6-core processor, 3.6 gigahertz, with a very modest GPU. It's what is it? The 1650 Super, I think it is. Because it had like, it was like one of the first ones that had the Turing cores that have, or whatever you call it, that have the better NVENC encoding.
Right.
That
was like, that was way easier than ours.
It encodes like 4K 60, zero trouble. I mean, it's I was able to build this on a very nice budget, because really its only purpose is for streaming and recording. But I might want to experiment with those, like the more 3D heavy emulators on this computer. I
feel like this game is just like all about stressing you out, like trying to just put you under pressure of things you can't control, like right? It just feels like it's like that more so than other Mega Man games. Like, oh, here's an auto-scrolling level, here's a sinking vertical. Come on, get. There was $5 from Earth Prime 232. Thank you. Saying, any recommendations for converting Xbox 360 FAT VGA to HDMI? The launch console didn't have HDMI. The cable is just VGA and separate left-right for audio. Well, first of all, you're very fortunate to have a launch system that's working. That's kind of awesome. I can't believe it.
I have never.
I was under a lot of stress there.
Oh, oh man, I wouldn't have gone for that bolt.
Well, I was far enough ahead of it. I was feeling confident. Of course, now we gotta do this over a bottomless pit, right? Just.
I've never used a launch 360.
Why do they put those?
So I don't know much about its analog output. I mean, I assume it also has component. I would suspect like the best way to do it would be with the OSSC. I'm pretty sure the OSSC can pass in and out 720p, maybe 1080p. I'm not sure, but I think it can. I can't remember if I tested that or not. That would probably be like the best quality conversion, I would suspect. That's the main thing that leaps to mind for me for digitizing VGA is the OSSC. I'm trying to think if anything else springs to mind. It would be like a quality converter that wouldn't be expensive. Can't think of one. That's definitely what I would think. I mean, by that point, but of course, there are very cheap HDMI to VGA converters, and I'm pretty sure the other way around exists as well. And they actually, have surprisingly decent quality. If you want to take an HDMI signal, and
I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm right back.
Okay, and put it on like a VGA monitor. they're all over Amazon, just lag-free VGA HDMI to VGA. Very easy way to get like the OSSC on a VGA monitor, or a PlayStation 3 on an HDMI monitor, or a Switch, or a PlayStation TV, or whatever. And I'm pretty sure that there are very, very similar converters there the other way around. You can find them all over Amazon. I've never used one that is VGA to HDMI, but I bet they actually work pretty decently. You probably don't have to go overkill and do the OSSC. Like I said, I'm not even 100% sure that the OSSC can take 720p and 1080p input. It would just pass them through if it does. I think it does. I see Cerulean saying the Xbox 360 on VGA display is pretty sweet, actually. And I bet at launch, like when you had the old blades, I never used the 360 during that time, but the blades could run in 4.3, couldn't it? Couldn't it run in 4.3? I don't know if it would be HD 4. Like, could you have like, what would it even be like? Would it be like it's 960 by 720? Would that be HD 4.3? Can it do that? It could. That sounds kind of awesome, actually. That on VGA monitor, in a 4.3, like a really nice 4.3 VGA monitor, HD 4.3, it would look good. I think a lot of those early Xbox games, didn't some early 360 games actually support 4.3?
Maybe.
Like I feel like Perfect Dark Zero, maybe? Or Cameo? I'm not sure.
Oh. Okay. I didn't even know that I had like these items things. I didn't even know I had like this rush stuff.
Oh, yeah, I mean, isn't that how most of the games are? Like you just get them over the course of the game, but there's
but it doesn't tell you, does it?
Well, I think some of the other games don't really give a lot.
Wait a sec,
You got Rush Jet?
I got a Rush motorcycle? What?
Oh gosh, I don't remember this. That looks kind of.
It's kind of weird looking, but kind of awesome at the same time.
It is weird looking, but it's more awesome than weird. I see Tony Morrow has a good point here too. Bobby Retro RGB would say, "Be sure the converter doesn't do any scaling." That is a good point. You don't want a scaler. You just want something that is VGA in, HDMI out. Same, no matter what resolution it takes in.
How do I
send the same one out?
Get rid of them? How do I get rid of them? Do I have to use them until the?
Well, you can probably unselect them in the menu.
I tried to. It doesn't let me do anything. He just stays there. I'm just wasting it. So, what is the other one then?
I've seen a lot of nostalgia for the blades, the old Xbox 360
blades. Oh yeah.
I wish I'd had one at that time.
Lots of health that I didn't need here at the beginning of the level. Whatever.
I mean, I don't love the current Xbox 360 interface, but I do like it more than the current Xbox interface. The one thing I do like about the Xbox interface is the video settings menu. That is very well laid out. It's better than what Sony has on offer for video settings right now. Although, you know what? I will say the PlayStation 5 has, interestingly enough, I know John had trouble. I don't know if they changed anything or if he's still having trouble. where it would revert your video settings back to automatic, and it would always.
Do I start at the
output
checkpoint?
you didn't want.
I continued, and I continue at the checkpoint.
You've got 3 lives.
I know. I continued. I got a game over and continued. I started at the checkpoint.
But I'm just saying you had 3 lives.
No, I know I had 0 though.
No, you had 3.
I got a game over before I went to the bathroom.
Oh. I was talking about just now. You didn't game over.
Oh, I thought I was dead there for sure. If that's the case, I'll give it more of a pass for that kind of BS.
TV Tunes is asking, was a good Switch game for a budget? I mean, look no further than the $199 you can spend on McBat64 Journey of a Nice Chap.
Journey of a Nice Chap.
Journey of a Nice Chap.
I think TV Tunes was asking earlier as well about like a good PS1 or PS2 game that's family friendly that their little brother or little sister could watch. And I highly recommend Klonoa. Either Klonoa game.
That's not Klonoa. If you want to get a real copy, though, is not a game for someone on budget. Or on PS2, I would highly recommend Katamari Damacy. Yeah. Although you can get that on Switch now too. So,
yeah,
it's a great port.
Did you played through Reroll?
Well, I streamed it, remember?
Oh, that's right.
Oh man, that was such a satisfying stream too. I remember I was really tired, and it's just like, man, like there's a certain state of mind where like there could be no game that you could be playing that you would rather play right now than Katamari Damacy. You know?
Mm-hmm.
You ever have a day where Katamari Damacy is the best game ever? Now that was my answer for that question on that game music challenge was video game music that's constantly stuck in your head. I literally do like multiple times a week have a bit of a na 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 na. It's always there. It's always there. But that's the great thing about PS1 and PS2 as well, is that those really were systems for everyone. I almost feel like it was really the last, like PS2 feels like it was the last system from Sony or Microsoft that really felt like something for kids. Like, I mean, not just for kids, but like something that like I don't think that like, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS4, Xbox Series X, PS5, those aren't, I feel like those aren't really systems for kids like younger than 12,
Yeah. Oh, I thought I was dead.
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, there are family-friendly games on those systems, and especially with indie games, there is a lot of, family-friendly fare. But like when it comes to like, the big budget stuff, I feel like Nintendo is the only one like consistently offering like stuff for the whole family.
First party wise, yeah.
For the past decade and a half, first party stuff is, don't get me wrong, stuff exists. You've got like Astrobot stuff on PlayStation, you've got Ratchet and Clank, Microsoft, I think, has some stuff. Super Lucky's Tale was, I guess, a first-party game. I mean, this stuff exists. There's stuff that's, for the whole family, so to speak. But, like, for the most part, it's just not the focus in the AAA world. I am forgetting Knack, you know?
Yeah.
I love Knack. I am not even being sarcastic. Knack and Knack 2 are great games. I still haven't finished Knack 2 though, but I like it.
I don't know.
Is he your last one?
No.
Yeah, they're sackable. I mean, you know what? I mean, so Sony has, continued to have that kind of stuff, but I don't think it's
all right. Well,
I don't think it is. There is enough of it though to justify getting like, a preteen child a PlayStation or an Xbox. I mean, there's just so much more for them on the Switch. In my opinion. I'm not saying that stuff isn't there. But like if they are going to be the primary player of that system, like it just doesn't strike me as the choice that offers the most variety. For that age group. But what do I know? I'm not there. You've got your old PS4 and your old Xbox One set up side by side for.
Oh, I did, yeah. Now that they have the iPad version, they don't.
Oh, they don't even care now.
Now they don't even care. But I did. I mean, that's what it was kind of embarrassing, but it was like, all right, well. The kids were kind of fighting over playing Minecraft. And, they wanted to play... they both wanted to play on different TVs. Hang on. Okay. Or they wanted to play on the TV that was down here in the basement. But I had an extra monitor, and I had the PS4 version, and my daughter was playing on the Xbox version. So I set up the PS4 version on another monitor, and it just had them play their own version side by side. And
because you have the Pro and the One X, so why not?
Yeah, but I mean, it was it's ridiculous. But I mean, when I showed my wife, she says, "Well, you have the equipment." And it's funny. I took a picture and I sent it to my brother and I said, can you imagine having this and still fighting? Right? I mean,
yeah. You had a Sega Master System and your brother had an NES.
Yeah, but I mean, they're in different rooms. But I mean, just imagine having the same thing side by side. I'm gonna see what I can buy here. It's just funny to think about.
I did like Ori and the Blind Forest. I haven't played Will of the Wisps yet. I kind of intended to play it soon after getting the Series X, but I still haven't. I definitely should prioritize.
There's a bunch more stuff here. Increases the amount of energy your weapon can recover. Spare bodies will be refilled automatically when you exit from a stage. Spare bodies.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, extra lives, but it's just funny. It's spare bodies. Sliding will speed up. Be careful. 15 life energy. Your life bar is full. It will be converted to weapon energy. I thought that's what I was already doing. Mega Buster will speed up 3 Mega Busters for each time you've pressed the shot button. That's tempting. Does anybody have a recommendation? Shortens the charge time for the charge shot time needed. I wonder if there's any professionals at this game in the chat saying you should get this.
But it makes
me
sad to think that your kids don't even care about the console versions now if they can play it on iPad. Like, don't.
Well, to be fair, and I think this is important. They were playing on the iPad, but they like really hated
the controls.
They hated the controls, and
well, that's my point. Like that's the main thing I was thinking about. Like,
but you can sync a DualShock 4 to an iPad just like
really?
Like no problem, and a lot of games even show the DualShock 4 like in your control setup.
Oh wow! So did you do that for them?
Yeah, they're just like playing it, so it's just like they are playing their own games like using a DualShock 4 or Arrow Shot.
You know, I remember when tablets first started becoming a thing, and it was like the most amazing thing.
Fast
like,
charge. Okay, I'll do the fast charge.
I was just like, oh my gosh, like.
Oh, I don't have enough. I need one more bolt. So should I save or should I get the Arrow Shot?
I was just like, oh man, I really want a tablet. Oh, so gonna be so great. I'm like, I could not care less about tablets now. Like, I don't know about you. Like, I don't care about tablets at all.
Yeah, good. I'll save and I'll pick something.
I mean, you know, I can do everything on my phone that you can do on a tablet, and the smaller size doesn't really bother me.
Okay, we'll do the Arrow Shot.
Good luck, Mega Man.
Mega Man.
Like the only thing I use, you know, I got my old tablet that I got, you know, relatively early in the tablet days.
Searchman, okay?
You know, sorry.
I'm Searchman, okay? That's what he says. I'm Searchman, okay?
Okay.
Fine. You be Searchman.
It looks more like they're search men, if you ask me.
Yeah, right?
There's two heads. But, you know, I had a Toshiba tablet, and it, you know, it was awesome at first. The main reason I got it was because it had HDMI output and an SD card slot, which like other tablets like really didn't have that kind of stuff at the time. Like that was kind of a new feature, and you know, I ultimately didn't use it, you know, for a lot more than just like web browsing when I wasn't at home. And then eventually just started running like absolute garbage. And eventually, really all I did with it was use it as my teleprompter. You know, I used it to set in my teleprompter box.
Right.
And, you know, but once it started performing really badly to the point where like it would take like 30 minutes to just check my mail. Which is, you know, how I would send myself the script loading to the teleprompter. And it would just take so long to even refresh Gmail.
Yeah.
And so eventually, like, I wasn't using it for anything else for a long time. And so, you know, Amazon does these like insane deals where you get like, you know, around Christmas where you get like a Fire tablet for like, I don't know, like $20-$30 or something like that.
Right.
Like I got one, and I actually got one for my dad, and he liked it a lot more than I thought he would. I didn't think he would actually use it that much.
Actually,
he still uses it for more than his computer for web browsing and checking his email these days. Even though it's several years old. But I ended up getting the same one when it was on sale again because like I just like literally the only thing I do with that tablet is check my email. That's all it's for. Or not check my email. Well, check my email to load the teleprompter file that I sent to myself, because that's just the easiest way to send it to myself, and then load it into the teleprompter app. But like, that's the only thing I care to do with the tablet. Like, they just don't interest me whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I actually took like my old MacBook Pro and like my wife's old iMac and like my old iPhone to Best Buy last night. And you can trade them in, or if they're able to like use them or do anything with them. Because I think last week I was talking about how I was gonna try to donate them or just like recycle them.
Oh yeah.
And Best Buy just like gives you gift cards, so I was able to somehow get like $85 for my MacBook Pro, which is like a mid 2010.
Wow.
So
That's not bad.
yeah, I think that
Something
I asked them
doing
what
you
they
no
do with
good.
it, and they said, "Oh, we send them back to Apple." So hopefully they, dispose of them properly.
Although despite me harumphing tablets, I will say my mom got a laptop for Christmas that I think a lot of laptops are like this day. Like, even like not that expensive ones, where it's like a transforming laptop where you you like fold the keyboard under, and then you just hold it like the keyboard is then disabled, and you just touch screen like a tablet, and it's like
Right.
it's actually kind of awesome.
Yeah, like HK's gaming, like a Surface, like a tablet top.
Yeah, but like it's just an HP, like not even like that expensive as an HP, and it runs great. Like what's so funny about it is like when you're using it as a laptop, like it feels like a pretty standard laptop, with a pretty nice. I like the look of it. It's a good looking little laptop. But when you actually fold it under and then start using it as a tablet, like suddenly the screen feels like so much bigger. Like, just because it is way bigger than a normal tablet, it's kind of awesome.
So I can't use the water balloon. I mean,
like, that's definitely what I would like if I ever got something again that was like a tablet. That's definitely what I would get, because it was relatively affordable. It seems to run very nicely. And you
what
could
is
use
this?
it as
Oh, it's the grab.
you could use it as a regular laptop, which I could see myself possibly being interested in a laptop again sometime. I just don't have a ton of need for it though, because whenever I travel, like, my phone is the only computer I really need outside of my Switch for my entertainment. But my phone, communicating and web browsing, that's all I really need. Phone is more than good enough for that.
I can do this. Flame sword. It's like I have the exact wrong weapons for all these, but the Mega Buster is surprisingly powerful against like all of them.
Well, it seems like a lot of the weapons are maybe almost inconvenient to use.
Yeah. I do like this arrow.
I'm Searchman, okay?
and he jumps. He's like, shoot fire.
Voices in this are pretty enjoyable. Maybe not as enjoyable as Grandia, but it's up there. You should play Rockman and Fortress.
You streamed it, right?
I believe I did. I think I finished it off stream though. Like I really struggled at first, but I think it was good that I streamed it because I feel like that kind of forced me to spend a little more time with it, because I had originally played it on GBA and I could not get into it. I would get kind of frustrated, and then I'd stop playing for a while, and then I'd pick it up again and not get into it again. But then I think, being forced to sit down and play it, for 2 or 3 hours, like kind of got me over the hump of getting into it, if that makes sense. Like, it felt difficult to get a foothold in the game, like get a couple of bosses beaten and such. But then once I got into it, it really clicked with me. It's definitely kind of a different game. I understand that playing as Mega Man is much harder than playing as Bass. And I did play as Bass. I think it's a little different, but once it was hard to get into, but once I got into it, I really enjoyed it. I feel like you kind of got to put the time and effort into that one, and then it kind of starts coming together. One of the composers for that game was actually Naoshi Mizuta, who was one of the technically still is, I guess, one of the, or kind of the lead Final Fantasy 11.
Swordman.
The lead Final Fantasy 11 composer, and it's very obvious when you're playing Mega Man.
Wait.
And Bass and hearing the track.
Is Chris Wynn just making stuff up? I mean, I assume that he's just making stuff up. In the chat.
Surely. Surely.
I mean, I can't imagine. No. Someone has just got to be making that up. Okay. Just spamming. Okay, so this is the level that I played yesterday when I realized I hadn't beaten this game.
Yeah, I want to say this was the last level that I did.
Oh, the fire just kills you.
Ready.
Yeah, that's not very funny. I played this one yesterday when I was just doing the... Huh?
How many of the boss weaknesses have you actually used?
One for sure.
Oh, you've just been all about the Buster then.
Basically, yeah.
I don't know if anyone thought about...
Busted makes me feel good.
It's true. I don't know if anyone really thought of it, but years ago you were on this, like, I mean, it's wild how long ago it feels like, but you were really on this rampage of
playing all the Mega Man games.
Playing the NES Mega Man games. I mean, you'd beaten them before, all the NES ones, I think.
Not 4 or 5. And I guess I still have to do 6 because I have not.
Oh, you've never beaten after 3 though.
At the time, I had no.
Yeah, you've now done 4 and 5.
Yes.
Oh, so that's still on your backlog. I didn't realize that. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny that you've done it out of order now, but yeah, like you said, you just wanted to play the PS1 digital because you hadn't really had a lot of time
I mean, it just sounded fun yesterday when I was was booted up the PS3 and saw that I hadn't finished this.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Come on.
People are so hung up on the greatness of Mega Man 2 that I feel like the later NES Mega Man games don't get the recognition that they deserve. And frankly, they're better designed games. They are. Mega Man 2 is profoundly flawed. You know, I know people will give me a lot of flack for that, but there are some very questionable boss designs in that game. Especially in the Wily levels where, like, you know, you're just screwed if you don't have enough of a certain thing. And it just it's very irritating. Very irritating. Like, the Wily levels like practically ruin Mega Man. You know, I prefer. I know this just is going to sound crazy to most people, but like I think I prefer every single NES Mega Man game more than 2. I really do. Like I mean I'm dead serious. Like I mean, you know, you have an unpopular opinion as well in that you like Mega Man 1 the best.
Yeah.
Which I actually like Mega Man 1 a lot as well. I came to appreciate it a lot more the second time the second and third times I played it. Had the opposite impression of Mega Man 2 when on consecutive plays. I was like, wow. Mega Man 1, my opinion of it improved. Mega Man 2, my opinion of it went down.
I mean, I still love 2. I think 2 is amazing, but it's I don't know. It's just like 2. It was just like I will never be able to forget playing it when it released, I guess.
I mean, I'll admit, Mega Man 1 definitely feels archaic compared to the others. That is absolutely.
But I mean, that's one of the things I like about it.
Yeah, I mean, it Fireman is a jerk. Fireman's a big jerk, especially in the boss rushes, where, you know, in that game the boss rushes are like actually in the middle of levels, and he can be a real stumbling block. That is bad, but I don't think that's as bad as some of the crap that Mega Man 2 pulls in some of its later ones. You know, with that one you have to have the crash bombs on, and I mean, Mega Man 3, 4, 5, 6, they are straight up more fun to play than 2. They just are. The only thing is, people know 2 so well, you know?
Yeah.
If you know 2 by heart.
So the mini bosses give you the rush abilities.
Oh, you just.
It doesn't even tell you. It just
weird
gives it to you.
See, Golden Kane is saying Mega Man 3 has potential to be the best, but the added robots you have to track down brings it down hard for me. And I agree. And you know what game those extra robots come from? Mega Man 2. Mega Man 2 actively makes Mega Man 3 a worse game.
Oh, come on. They are just artificially like making the game longer. Do you think that you
beat Mega Man 2 bosses?
Yeah, but I mean, it's just extended versions of the same levels, or not extended, but just like redone versions of the levels. If it actually used, levels from 2 somehow, that'd be pretty cool. As it is, it's just like ghosts. What am I supposed to do there?
Yeah, I mean, that is a dumb aspect of 3. 3, I agree, 3 would be the best if it wasn't for that portion of the game. I know that is a logical fallacy, Golden Cane. I am being facetious. I am joking. But you're right though. That part does bring the game down.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I agree. 3 would be the best if it wasn't for that. It has the best music. 3 has the best soundtrack, hands down. But you know, I think the thing is, like, 4, 5, and 6, especially 5 and 6, are like so much easier than the other games. That like on a first play, they're kind of maybe a little disappointing because it's like, oh, they were kind of easy. But then, like, if you're just wanting to play something for fun, I feel like it's a lot less effort to get through like Mega Man 5 and 6 than any of the others. So there's
really,
you know, kind of that going for it. I think they're more replayable.
Okay, so I assume that it's the water balloon is going to be.
You would think.
You'd think. Water balloon.
Oh yeah, Mega Man Powered Up I think is pretty popular. I generally hear a lot of love for it. I mean, we both like it a lot.
Yes, it is. Jeez. I'm still gonna die.
I wouldn't say Mega Man 10 is the worst, but it was very forgettable.
Whew, I thought I was gonna die anyways.
Like, I played Mega Man 9 a bunch of times. I thought Mega Man 9 was excellent. I played it quite a few times. Mega Man 10, I think I only played one time, maybe 2 times. But if I did play it 2 times, it would have been like right when it released. Like, you know, Mega Man
he says Flame Sword. Flame Sword. That's what it sounds like. Flame Sword. Sword. Should I go back and hunt for some bolts?
I don't know, maybe. Mega Man 9 and 10, I mean, I would say the best way is I've not played through them on the new Legacy Collection. You know, they're on Legacy Collection 2 on, you know, PS4, Xbox One, I guess Switch. They do have non-integer scaling, unfortunately, but it's not as distracting as it could be in a lot of other games. But I've not played through them on that collection. I just like took a quick look the day it came out and haven't looked at them again. But
Good luck, Mega Man.
I would say that would be the better way to play them because they're really blurry on like Wii, 360, PS3, Mega Man 9 are very blurry. It's just like a basic bilinear filter. I didn't remember them being that blurry. And in fact, on Wii, it's actually 480i. I believe. So, I'm not even sure if does it even support 480p on the Wii? Like, I know it doesn't support 240p. Apparently 360 910 have laggy controls. I don't know much about like how, you know, I don't know much about how like the Legacy Collection 2 versions work. Unfortunately, I'm not sure who made Legacy Collection 2, but it wasn't Digital Eclipse, which, Digital Eclipse did a good job with, interpolation with the correct aspect ratio on Legacy Collection 1. Unfortunately, that is not the case on Legacy Collection 2, but we should stream those someday.
Yeah.
I would love to revisit Mega Man 9.
Yeah, I would like to see you play
really
that again. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen a playthrough of it.
Yeah, we on the early backloggery streams we played it quite a few times. Drum was really.
If you get a chance to go back and play, like, when was the last time you played it on the on the Wii?
Oh, I mean, played through it a long time ago.
I mean, have you played through it? Did you play through it on the Wii on a HD TV?
On the HD CRT.
Because if I recall, I feel like it was scaled like super badly.
Well, I mean, at the time, it looked better than NES games on the Wii, and at the time I had composite on the NES, so it looked fine to me. At the time I didn't understand that that HD CRT was like doing like deinterlacing. Like, right. I had no idea why that game. Like, I had to actually hook up my Wii via S video to actually stream that game.
Ah, okay.
It was problematic with streaming because if I remember why I described it earlier this stream, I had that box that took component and could output at VGA, but it only worked with progressive signals.
Mm-hmm.
So since I had 480p selected on my Wii, I had no idea why it couldn't stream Mega Man 9. I want to say it's because it outputs 480i. I don't think it even does 480p, but I could be wrong. But there's something weird about the output of Mega Man 9, which makes it which made it difficult to stream in those days.
Look at the eyes on this ship. He's just like.
Yeah, it is blurry. I mean, it definitely is blurry. Even I mean, I have revisited it in more recent years, and it is blurry. I didn't remember it being that bad, but it's blurry on 360 and PS3 too. Very blurry. But yeah, I'd like to replay both of those someday. I mean, I just played 9 a bunch, 10 very little. The most interesting thing about 10, I think, is that supposedly each of the 8 Robot Master stages were composed by the lead composer of each Mega Man game 1 through 8. I think that's the neatest thing about 10.
I don't feel afraid of like these levels now. It's like I always love going back and getting items that I could never get to before. That was one of my favorite things about the X games, at least the early ones. I don't know if it was done that much.
That kind of stuff kind of bothers me, and I think that's why one of the reasons I disliked 5 and 6 so much, especially 6, because there's like all of these. 6 has some levels that have some randomized elements.
Right. But I'm talking
you have to if you want to get like certain pieces of armor, which if you don't get them, the final stages are very difficult.
But I mean, when it was still pretty new, I loved it in the first Mega Man X, especially like in the days before like hint guides and stuff. I found all the stuff by myself.
Yeah,
except for the occasional I guess back then I think the thing I couldn't find was maybe like the helmet. Was the last thing I could not find, and I remember going on. It was either AOL or it was probably Prodigy at the time, and getting figuring it out there. I mean,
I agree. Like back in the day, that was like a really fun thing to do. But like nowadays, I'm kind of like, oh man.
Oh man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, I can see that. But I mean, Prodigy and CompuServe. That's right. I was mainly. I had a friend who had Prodigy, and I remember. I think I talked about it a lot on the stream. I remember going on when Final Fantasy III was brand new, and you go to like different like message boards on Prodigy, and they're all talking about bringing General Leo back to life.
Yeah.
Can revive General Leo.
That was $10 super chat from Bacon McCheskey, who says Dr. Huawei must be stopped.
I recognize the name of Bacon McCheskey, who was a poster on the nextlevel.com forums.
Oh.
If I assume it's the same one, because it's one of the best names ever, honestly.
Maybe it was based on something that you had no idea about.
Maybe.
Or maybe it truly is a long a reunion a long time in the coming.
I'm guessing that it's the same person. Oh, here we go again.
Those old next level forums, you certainly
constantly
met a lot of people from there.
Yeah, see, the one and only. Yeah, I mean it's like a constant thing. It's a constant in my life. I keep on running into people that I know from there in different places.
Yeah.
Even in Japanese arcades. And at Missouri game conventions.
Yep.
I know that there's 2 of them here that I gotta get. It's when it speeds up though.
You got through this a lot faster your second time.
Yeah. But now I'm just trying to look for some bolts. Oh. See, I feel like I had it. There's either 1 or 2 that I missed on this level.
Much as I want Mega Man X9, I'm skeptical about since I didn't like X5, X6, X7, or X8. I liked X8 actually. I've not played through X7 yet, and you know, I've never heard good things about it. I've only heard of one person who was fine with X7.
I could stream it. Should I stream it sometime? That'd be.
I mean, I want to stream it. It's the only X game that I haven't beaten. It's the only one I have.
Do you have it?
I've got it on PS2 and I've got it on the X Collection too.
Oh, okay.
Or yeah. What was it?
How bad could it be?
How bad could it be? I mean, I've booted it up a little bit. I mean, it's weird because it introduces some 3D gameplay to it. Like, I think it's like a mixture of 2D and 3D. But I mean, I swear,
it feels like there's
game that, like, tried to emulate the Super Nintendo games. You know, in terms of their level of complexity, or maybe even X4, since that one is pretty popular. I think those would be
X4 is definitely, as Gornway says there, X4 is the second best Mega Man X game. I think it's the second best, you know, certainly after the first one. I think the first one is the best one for sure.
See, I think X2 is underappreciated. I think X2 is basically as good as X1. And I just feel like it's ignored. Like I think X2 is very good. X3 I take issue with because I mean, for one, like the bosses are just a lot less interesting. I think there's several in that game based on sea creatures, which is just very unimaginative. To have, I mean, there's often one in every game, but to have like you've got like I think a crawfish and something else in the same game. Plus, there was this really annoying thing where, you had to get like a license or something. You had to get some sort of permission to use the different like Magitech suits. You know what I'm talking about?
Kinda.
And like you couldn't just use them if you come across them. Like you had to get something to use them. So you come across them and it's like, oh, but you can't use them. The other X games, you can just use them. That kind of annoyed me. But yeah, it was. But yeah,
Okay, how do I get up here now? Do I have a there's no rush coil in this game, right?
I don't remember.
Nope.
There was $5 from Ben Brody. Thank you. Saying, try. What is your favorite thing to get when you get Chinese food? I take it you're not allowed to answer this question.
Me?
I don't. He just says try.
Well, yeah, probably. I mean,
you know, it's interesting.
jump off the Mega Ball. I didn't know you could do that. You could jump off of it.
Can you just like sit still on the ground and then jump? You know, Chinese used to always be like a takeout. I always thought of it as like a takeout thing. And you know, back then, you know, usually just like chicken fried rice or, you know, something pretty basic like that. You know, unfortunately not this year. Like the probably the restaurant I'm the most excited to go eat in again, you know, if we're lucky sometime in 2021, is there's actually a couple of like really good, like more, you know, not really takeout Chinese restaurants, like nice sit down. I mean, of course, you can normally sit down and eat at takeout Chinese restaurants, but like they still, you get the impression they're takeout focused. These are like, you know, actual like sit down restaurant focused, but they're still like pretty good prices. Like they aren't like expensive restaurants or anything, but they're very nice restaurants. Especially one of them, if anyone lives in the Charlotte area,
how do I use this?
Wan Fu in Pineville is incredible. Wan Fu is amazing.
Okay, I need to collision another ice block. That's fine.
And so my favorite thing to get from there, my go-to is, and I've had this at other Chinese restaurants as well, so I guess I'll consider this my go-to Chinese. There's a dish called Singaporean rice noodles, which, you know, maybe technically that's not Chinese, I guess, but it's basically noodles with curry sauce and chicken and shrimp, and it's incredible. It is so good. I also like, you know, chow fun noodles, or however you say it, lo mein, kind of stuff.
There we go. Thank you.
But Singaporean rice noodles are amazing.
I think I might have gotten them all on this level now, or most of them at least.
Gerald Tan in here is saying, "Try, you're right. There's no such thing as Singaporean noodles in Singapore." Well, Dude, they just
Oh,
call
maybe
them
not.
noodles.
I assume that I can use my.
You know,
Yes.
I actually went there when Matt Lisi was in town one time. We ate at Wan Fu, and he was familiar with that dish under another name that he had someplace before. Maybe maybe you can help me out here, Gerald Tan. I mean, it's basically
Thank you.
you know, thin noodles with a curry sauce, and you know, I guess like peppers and onions and stuff in it, and chicken and shrimp. I don't know if it goes by something in somewhere else. I mean, I understand that even in the nicer restaurants, American Chinese food has very little to do with actual Chinese food, and I assume even more so eating something called Singaporean noodles from a Chinese restaurant in America.
There's $5 from Dominic Rinaldi asking, Coury, what is your favorite thing to get? I'm super boring when it comes to Chinese stuff. I mean, I get the same thing that probably most people who get Chinese food get, and it's just like
chicken fried rice.
No, General Tso's chicken is definitely my favorite.
I always thought of chicken fried rice as like the ultimate generic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, oh, did I miss one? Okay, I didn't.
Gerald Tan says, used to live in the Bay Area and would see Singaporean fried rice and Singaporean noodles at Chinese restaurants. It's all peppered in curry powder. We don't have that in Singapore. I love curry, though. I absolutely love curry. Have we played Mega Man Soccer?
I haven't.
Maybe some friends rented it back in the day. We were, I don't know, we were like 10, 11 years old. Like, my friends liked it. Like, I understand everyone says it's terrible. And I don't think I've ever played it since then. But they would rent it several times. I mean, obviously they liked it. I probably played it with them at some point.
Oh, I see. Thank you, Mr. Sensible. I will get the H-speed shot. Is there anything else that does anybody feel that I need to go after here?
I bet you're safe to take on the Wily levels.
There's.
Well, I didn't realize it's basically 11 o'clock, so I guess you're probably going to be saving and quitting.
Well,
before getting involved in the
I might take a quick look. There is a $5 from Apocalyptic Minister. Sorry, I missed it. Saying slide, jump, slide, jump. All that makes you want to hurry up and finish that darn stage. Yes, it was a relief when it was over. The ladder boost. I mean, is a ladder boost really needed? I mean, it's nice, but
I doubt it's really needed.
I'm gonna try.
Tower level.
What's that?
Would have been nice in that sinking tower level.
Yes. No,
Gerald Tan says, what I described sounds like Hong Kong fried noodles, which is ironic because it's probably something Hong Kongers don't see in Hong Kong either. So you're saying you see Hong Kong fried noodles in Singapore. Or maybe the chef at the at Wan Fu, maybe he went to Maybe he went to
Whoa.
Singapore one time and ate Hong Kong noodles and decided, oh, I had this in Singapore. Let's call this Singaporean noodles.
Oh, it starts
Oh,
off
okay.
with one. It starts off with it like
Oh, great.
right off the bat.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
But is it true? Like, does it save and I don't have to worry about it? Like, I don't have to replay the level?
I think so. Does anyone in the chat know for sure if you can save your progress in the Wily levels in this one? I mean, that's always like most games. If you leave the Wily levels, your new password will still start you at the start of the Wily levels. Surely in this one.
I hit the wrong button. I do like that it has the feature of adding that you can just like, use the Mega Buster when you're equipped with another weapon.
What button do you press?
Triangle. Always shoot always shoot the Buster.
Yeah, that is a nice feature. Is it always that way,
I don't know why that
or do you have to have an item to do that?
No, it's always like that.
I don't remember that, but that is cool. I really I remember really liking how in Kid Dracula, like they handled the weapons and that where you shoot your normal shot when you just tap the button, but then you have to charge your shot to do all the others. I thought that was a good way to handle it and simplify and let you use regular attacks and special attacks without changing what you have selected. Especially because, like, you know, I don't love the charge shot in Mega Man, so having the charge be a special rather than just a charge shot, I thought was a lot more interesting.
Jeez.
Did you read this? Mr. Sensible says technically you can save, but it only keeps items in bulk. You'll start from Wily stage 1 after reloading. So it sounds like this might be futile.
Yes. I just want to see if I can beat this part.
Yeah, so you won't be frustrated. So you'll at least know what you're doing, and you won't be super frustrated like immediately when you start playing.
Yeah. I might go back and look for more bolts, though. Before I just hit. Why am I getting like my buttons confused? I don't know why. I didn't know. I knew about it in the main game. I didn't expect it to be again. I mean, someone said it was gonna be again, but someone said it shows up again. But I didn't expect it to be like literally the first thing you do in Wily's Castle.
Yeah, I knew it was here, but I forgot it was the first thing. Do you think there were any fierce debates on the dev team? They're like, no, you really shouldn't lead with this.
I don't know. It is. Gornway says right in the chat is completely right. This seems like a Wily stage 2.
I agree.
I mean, I feel like you always need that first stage that has like great music, and you're like on the outside of the castle.
Oh yeah. I mean, at least you should reasonably be able to guess that there shouldn't be anything more difficult after that.
Yeah. I mean, there's no second Wily Castle, is there?
I don't think so, but I don't remember for sure.
It just seemed very anticlimactic. I like the idea of splitting the 4 bosses, or splitting the 8 bosses in half.
Yeah,
but at the
because
same
then
time,
you're gonna
it's
have like more varied difficulty level for the second half.
And I can appreciate that, but I feel like it's, I don't know. It's not as fun. Just one Wily Castle, and I think it's only 4 stages. So really the levels are a little bit longer, but overall the game is shorter than many of the previous ones, I guess. Then again, I beat most of the NES games in one single stream.
Yeah. And back then we were targeting more like 2 hours.
Right. Too bad you can't look to see how many bolts you have left to get.
So wait, it does remember? Like it does you can't revisit the level and get them again?
No. There
So there are limited numbers.
Yeah. It's finite.
Coury's playing. The person on the top is always the one playing.
If you can beat
Sometimes we have.
is the last boss hard or anything?
That says playing, but I guess it's not there right now.
You can shoot up to 5 meg. Oh, it's 5 bullets. The weapon with the least amount of energy will automatically be filled when you get an energy icon. It's like it automatically makes you be the who has the least energy, so they get more energy. The most. I like the idea of that. Of the idea that Mega Man becomes the boss when he's using their power.
Yeah.
It's just like he's occupied by their robotic soul. I have not played the versions on the Switch collection, or Switch and PS4 collections. I haven't played those. I forgot that that's even on there. I wonder, or just like the Legacy collection too. I wonder how it is.
Oh, I've got it. Legacy collection 2. I guess I have on PS4.
It's too bad we could do a 3-way stream where it's Saturn versus PS1 versus PS4.
Oh yeah, Mega Man 7 Wily is ridiculously hard. Easily the toughest one. I mean, you want to go into that fight with all your E-tanks for sure. I mean, it is cruel.
And what?
In 7, the final Wily in 7 is so hard.
There's no E-tanks in this game. That's surprising that there's no E-tanks.
Yeah, that is surprising.
And I mean, the lack of the rush stuff it doesn't feel like it makes sense at all. It just feels tacked in there.
I'm pretty sure none of the Legacy Collection games have 4K support. I'm not sure about the Zero Collection. I don't think they have 4K support though. It's pretty uncommon in pixel games. You know, that was something that like I was surprised with Mystic Bell. It appears to actually not be integer scaled, but it's 4K. So the variation between pixel size is so small that you really can't see any shimmer. I was really surprised to see that it was 4K on PS4.
Ready.
I'm just gonna do a quick.
There was $5 from Nicholas Legg. Thank you. With just a emote of a very intense looking hippo with yellow eyes.
Saying hype. Get hype, right? So how do I get to this?
By the way, there was someone. I forget if we forgot to call it out, but there was a new YouTube member at some point, and I think it already scrolled off the thing before, and I think I might have forgot to call it out. There was no comment on. I don't think there is a comment when you do that, but that thank you.
Oh, we gotta use the.
There was also not just now a $5 super chat from Rad Ranger. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying, any thoughts on the Monster? I can't talk. Monster World 4 remake, Wonder Boy, Asha, and Monster World. I really like the original, so I'm curious how it turns out. I mean, you know, I think opinion seems to be against it right now because they released a trailer like clearly way too early.
I guess
I'm cautiously optimistic about it. You know, it's definitely going to be, you know, capped at 30 on Switch, I would say, but hopefully on, you know, assuming it's on like PS4, I guess, you know, I would like to hope that it would be uncapped, and you know, you would then assume that it run at 60 on PS5. That'd be nice.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah.
You know, the animations were very stilted looking.
It was a real mistake. I mean, there's a number of mistakes I feel about it. I think it was a mistake to show it when they did, and I especially think it was a mistake to open it for pre-orders. Like before they showed at least a second trailer saying like, hey, you know, like look at how much better it looks than that first showing for it. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And it's just like after Monster Boy and after Dragon's Trap remake, they really needed to bring it. And it seems like they're just like not doing a good job with just like approaching it in the right way. I mean, if it needs more time, like don't open sales for it before it even like has like it still like looks bad. Right?
I mean, I have no problem with them going 3D because, I mean, you know, let's be realistic. They probably didn't have the capability to match, you know, the gorgeous 2D graphics of Dragon's Trap or Monster Boy. But you know, so I don't have a problem with them going 3D. I think that's totally fine. You know, that, you know, it just kind of gives you a different perspective on it. I think that will actually be really interesting when it comes to like the main castle town, because like the layout of that was always kind of a little odd. And I would love to see like how the 3D perspective like actually kind of like changes how you perceive that level. Do you go back around and get to where that green barrel is? Or that wall doesn't look destructible to me.
No. I thought maybe it was because...
I bet you can go back around and get to it.
I bet I can do it this way.
But anyway, I'm cautiously optimistic. It looked like they were trying to be too true to the original 2D animations, and they just didn't work when translated to 3D. So I'm hoping that they sort of punch up the animation work a lot. But you know, I think it'll be a neat little thing. I mean,
I can use a soccer ball.
I'm happier that it exists than not. I mean, isn't it so crazy? I mean, you kind of mentioned it a little bit in the end of the year video, but like, it's so crazy how much love Wonder Boy has gotten.
Yeah.
In recent years. It's like,
I would have never expected it.
Something that I never would have thought that many people would have cared about.
Alright, so I can... Oh, come on. It's those darn respawning enemies.
Well, that's what Mega Man's all about.
Yeah. Come on. Whoa.
Oh, wow. It was 20 from our man's Tech Talk. Thank you.
Thank you.
I've been watching your content since the masterclass to Analog Frontiers documentary series that you posted. Thank you guys for everything you do. Is there an HDMI splitter you can recommend to get video out of a PS3? Yes. There has been a more recent one, hasn't there?
Yeah, it's like a cheaper one.
I've ordered, you know, it used to be, you know, the first ones that we came across were just some random ones on eBay, and then the listing went down. You know, we didn't know which ones they were anymore. And then we learned that there was one that was branded, what was it? View HD.
Yeah, but
it
didn't work as well.
Yeah, that one doesn't even work it very well anymore for me. And I actually had to get another one because I was starting to get a lot of drops. Anytime I tried to use the PS3, it started it was going poorly. And I bought one. I actually bought one a few months ago, and then I bought another one like just a few weeks ago. So it should be in my recent Amazon history.
Yeah, I think is it the one that the Henry Clark has linked in the chat? It might be that one. It's the one I sent you. The only problem that I have with that one is that it doesn't work with OSSC. So I just use it for the PS3 to strip the HDCP, and that's basically it.
I just posted the link as well. Yeah, this is the same one because it says purchased 2 times. You last purchased this item on November 22nd.
How do I get that?
Yep. That one works great with the PS3. Yeah, I've not tried it with the OSSC, so you say it doesn't work. But I've got that. I've got the PS3, Xbox 360, PS TV, which you also need a HDCP stripper for. What else do I have hooked up to it? Oh, I think the GBA consolizer, because running that through an HDMI splitter can fix the audio on the GBA consolizer, like if the audio is incompatible. So I have that running through it. I think I have something else running through it. I've got all those running to, I believe it's an Awake Lion. Have you ever bought
I'm going to thank Mr. Sensible for all of his sensible advice in this game tonight.
Have you ever used an Awake Lion HDMI switcher?
No.
I just think that's a great name.
Awake Lion?
Awake Lion.
Awake Lion?
It's Awake.
Awake Lion, like it's awake?
Awake Lion. Like it is, the lion, it is now awake. Awake Lion.
I mean,
they
if you're running a company and you're gonna make HDMI splitters, like why not call your company Awake Lion? Why not?
You don't want to be a sleeping lion.
No.
Oh, Henry Clark says, I love my Awake Lion switches. I have too. I mean, they have 5 inputs, which is better than the 4 that I feel you typically see. And they seem to work really well. They do work with the OSSC. Those are the most recent HDMI switchers I bought. I bought 2 of them. And in fact, Henry Clark, I don't know if it was you or it might have been someone else in the MLiG Discord, I believe is where someone recommended them. And I thought, well, heck, I don't know any of these other switchers. They're out right now. I'll try that one. It does seem to work well. So I bought another one. And so that one is the one that's feeding the HDMI splitter that we just linked. So I have that running the PS3 and the PS TV running through a switcher to a splitter to the Denon receiver, which then sends out to my TV and to my capture card. And PS3 has worked beautifully in that configuration.
If Mr. Sensible is still here, I know I don't have enough bolts for most of these things, but I'm wondering if you can recommend anything. I don't understand.
Henry Clark, have you tried PS5 with that splitter? Does 4K 60 actually work through that thing? I've never tested it because I really don't need it for that. But I've been skeptical. I've been skeptical because I had so much trouble with 4K 60, which was the big inspiration behind doing that 4K episode, was because it was just so difficult to get stable signals when I first got going with 4K stuff.
Shield. Let me push back when you get hit.
Oh, you do 4K 120, so you don't send new gen through it. But 4K 60 does work great. With HDR. It works great. Wow, that's shocking. I wonder if it would work well if it was going through a switcher though, because that was what was giving me so much trouble. The separate switchers and splitters, I tried a combination of several. Of course, 4K 60 was less established at that time. But I was just pulling out my hair, and that's why I got the Denon, because I was just like, okay, this has to be all in one box, because the splitter works fine on its own, the switcher works fine on its own, but they don't like working together. Huh, okay, well that's cool to know that 4K 60 with HDR works well through the Awake Lion with that split with that other splitter. That's great to hear. Maverick, we're talking about the splitter that we just linked. Henry Clark and I just linked. I'll drop the link again. This splitter supposedly works well with 4K 60 and HDR, and it strips HDCP for your PS3 and PS TV. Unfortunately, that's not an MLiG affiliate link. If you want to, I guess you could go to one of our videos and click through. Don't we have an Amazon affiliate link?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, if people actually want it, I can create one super easily. The Awake Lion.
I don't know how to do it.
I can do it. Hang on.
Well, you do it. Yeah, you do it. Corey's going to make an MLiG affiliate link. If anyone wants to go buy this amazing 4K 60 HDR capable and HDCP stripping for your PS3 and PS TV HDMI splitter that's like $20.
I get that one at the beginning here.
Oh, Henry Clark knows more than I do about making one apparently.
Ready.
And what's cool about it is you actually don't even, it gets power from HDMI, the HDMI, so you don't even need to plug it in.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I haven't plugged in. Do you not need it?
If you plug it in, if you plug in an active source when it's before you plug in power, it'll turn on and it'll work.
Oh. I wonder if it might require power though if you are trying to actually do like 4K.
Well, yes, it would for that stuff, but I mean, I'm just talking about in terms of the
like just like 1080p stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I just have it in between going out from my system selector that has the PS TV and PS3 on it.
Huh?
It's just like in between that.
Yeah, Xander Clark says there's a micro USB port that might be needed in some cases. I've got the micro USB port.
I thought for sure it's gonna happen again.
Would that splitter allow for sending a 4K signal to a 4K TV while also sending audio to a device that does not support a 4K signal? Probably not. I would suspect that the device that's receiving the audio would just do nothing. You can get, however, I've never tried one that supports 4K, but you can get devices that output. You can take HDMI in and then break out the audio into either like a 3.5 millimeter or a fiber optic or RCA. I've actually got one of those at my parents' house because I set up a projector I got for like $35. That's actually kind of awesome. I think.
That one does downscale. I have a JTAC Digital. It's a 1:4 splitter that it downscales as well, as long as you put the.
Oh.
What?
Wait! That splitter has a downscaling feature?
Yeah, I think if you plug it into 2, if you plug whatever source needs to be downscaled, I was messing around with it.
Wait! You're saying they'll output a 4K signal in 4K to a 4K TV and a 1080p version of that signal to another device?
Yes.
Seriously?
I mean, that one should, but I have a JTAC Digital one that does the same thing, and I messed around with it, but I felt like it was doing a weird conversion to the color space, like it was reading it as limited when it was not. Or I felt that it was reading as full when the signal it was receiving was limited. I messed around with it. I just felt like it was kind of washed out a little bit. Huh. But I mean, I wasn't sure. I was kind of back and forth on whether or not it was working nicely. It was worthy of like capturing, because I captured some of my Last of Us 2 footage in the year-end video was captured that way.
That's
so you should take a look. Take a look at some of the.
A shocking feature for such a cheap device. I mean, it does make me a little wary of using it for that kind of purpose, but that's crazy.
Amazon, that works with Amazon Smile. What is Amazon Smile?
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
Welcome back.
I mean, I'm sure I can create it.
There was 999 super chat from Terminal Philosophy. Thank you. Saying, sorry to hound you guys on this, but consider streaming Cybernator sometime in 2021. Mega Man 11 would be cool too. Looking forward to the updated room setup tour video this year. Cheers and thanks. Well, there will be 2 room setup tour update videos. Coury and I are doing ours separately.
Mm-hmm.
Coury's will almost definitely come before mine.
Yeah.
But look forward to those. And when Audie was actually here in person in 2019, he did stream Cybernator, but it was not the headliner game. The headliner game was Bubsy.
Yeah, so I will stream Cybernator.
Yeah, we've been talking about streaming Cybernator as the headliner game. We tried to not repeat games that were the headliner game on any stream before, but if we happened to just like play it casually, but it was never like the game at the head of the stream, we aren't opposed to doing that. Mega Man 11, however, I have streamed that before, so we probably wouldn't. But I do need to restart it and give it another go. But I was planning to most likely do that on the Backloggery stream, which is on Monday nights on Twitch, on the Backloggery channel on Twitch. So that's most likely where I'll stream Mega Man 11, but not sure when.
I'll look into the Amazon Smile. I just brought it up, and I'll figure out a way to get that to work. That'd be cool. Like, I don't know if I can create the affiliate link through there, but I'll do that.
Controls kind of rough in Cybernator. That's kind of the point, though.
Yeah. Golden Jupiter Studios is saying, Try and Corey, have you two heard of the Netflix Nickelodeon series Glitch Techs? And actually,
is that actually out?
There's 2 seasons of it. Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
It's excellent. So
there's a story. We have a story.
We have a story about it. Actually, when we were in Los Angeles shooting the interview with James Riley for the Night Trap documentary, we were some of the viewers of our channel invited us to check. They worked at Nickelodeon, and they were pitching that show at the time. I guess it was it had already been pitched and it was like getting made, but it was super early. So we watched like the first episode, like the pilot episode, and almost completely storyboards.
Yeah, it was like animatics basically.
Yeah,
animatics and storyboards, but like they had like, the voice acting and sound effects and stuff. But it was fun.
Yeah,
it was fun. It was such a surreal thing to like, it was one. It was Gabe Swar.
He's not there anymore. He works on Animaniacs for Warner now.
Wait, Wait! I knew he wasn't at Nickelodeon. I didn't know where he was now. They're doing new Animaniacs?
Yeah, it just came out. Yeah, both him and Tony worked.
Oh, they're both working on it?
Yeah, it's out. It's on Hulu.
I had no idea. You're blowing my mind here. That's
awesome. Oh, yeah. They
worked on it together. I had no idea. That's
crazy. They've been working on it for years.
I never heard. I never knew.
Yeah,
I feel bad.
It came out like 3 months ago. I have a Hulu account.
I love Animaniacs.
You might be able to use it. I'm not sure if. Yeah, it has the original voice actors. I guess.
Oh gosh, yeah. With the original voice actors? Oh man, you're getting me a little hyped up here. Some of my friends worked on it. It's got the original voice actors. I had no idea this existed. I feel bad that I didn't know this existed. Clearly, I should have been more in touch with Gabe and Tony in recent years. I mean, you know what was so crazy about that trip was that was the week after the Switch came out.
It wasn't even the week. It was like 3 days after the Switch.
Yeah. And we it was so wild because like we hung out with Gabe and went to the Nickelodeon studios, and then Tony met up with us there, and we went around game shopping.
Yeah.
And then like we went to In-N-Out Burger, which, no LA native, I know Gabe's not an LA native. I'm not sure about Tony. But no one who loves LA will allow you to visit LA without taking you to In-N-Out Burger.
Mm-hmm.
Although I have to admit it was so, there were so many people there though, it was hardly In-N-Out. It did take a while. But then we went and hung out. I feel bad I'm forgetting his name, but we went
You're
and
talking
hung
about
out
Greg Colton,
who worked on Family Guy.
He's a director on Family Guy.
And like we went over and we were like playing like 1-2 Switch and Rescue Rangers on NES, and I think he played a little Breath of the Wild while we were there, and we're playing on this like 115-inch projector screen in his house.
But really, the main thing is that he had like so many pinball machines in his house.
Oh, he had like 40 pinball machines or something.
Like more than that, I think. I don't know. That's like his main, the main thing that he collected, I guess. He had a whole bunch of pinball machines.
It was so bizarre that we were like out of nowhere, like kind of like integrated into this like Los Angeles
it's like
animator, like cartoon, like animator, like group. That, like it was like video, like retro gaming animator group. Like it was such a surprising and cool thing that was like kind of surreal. Like wow, like like these people are doing really cool stuff, and they like watch our show. Like this was so weird.
Yeah, you know, I watched a couple of the glitch techs. I mean, I put it on for my kids. I'm pretty sure that like they were both Gabe and Tony are friends with Mike Micah as well. So like he was a consultant on it. So a lot of the really cool little references probably have a lot to do with him too. But I think that is going to do it for this week.
Yeah, it is. It is yawn about that time, isn't it?
It sure is. Anyways, thanks to everybody for hanging out. Everyone who donated, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Sorry I didn't finish it, but I promise you I'll probably finish it tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah, you definitely you need to commit to it. You don't want to let sit on that backlog.
No. I'm gonna do it tomorrow.
You gotta do it. I bet it's gonna be not even that hard.
Once
you get past the jump slide.
I did not see the action button stream of Tokimeki for the Saturn yesterday. You know what? When it started, I clicked on it and I had it running in the background, but it was just like, getting ready, please wait screen for a while. But then I went out with my family for a while, and then I just never opened it back up. Did he finish? I mean, he said he was going to do a complete playthrough. And I don't. It's interesting because I've been slowly watching his review of it, and I mean, it's very good to listen to as a podcast style. So I've been listening to it in the car and stuff like that. So I mean, it's.
Oh, Mega X6, who donated earlier, said because of the video the games we played in 2020, bought Dragon Quest XI for the Switch because of what you said about it. So,
well,
it's a great game.
It is. It is very good. Anyways, like we said, the first MLiG Marathon video will be out probably just like at a random time with no hype or anything. We're just gonna be posted on the channel. And if you're looking for something to play in the background for 2.5 hours and you would like to revisit the entire How to Beat series back to back,
like that's like so much of the first year of the channel.
Yeah, it's just interesting to see it. But then we'll probably release them in between each episode is how I'm going to do it for a while. Anyways, why is my name spelled the way it's spelled? It's because my name is actually Courtney. That's why.
You actually see it in one of the episodes. What episode was it where you have
Oh
like
gosh,
a
I
yearbook
don't know.
photo? And like I thought, like, oh, it's a misprint. Like I never knew.
No, that's my real name, and I just go by Coury because so many years of, you know, Courtney, is she here? Where is she? That kind of, yeah. So many years of that. So, oh yeah, the voice in the How to Beat is Try's old boss.
He was a news reporter for a few decades before he went over to work at the university that I worked at the TV studio, and he went on as communications director. I was just like, well, I said, if I gave you a really stupid script with some very confusing things about video games that you won't understand, and I want you to sound like you don't understand.
Yeah, don't ask me how the proper way to pronounce this. Just do your best.
Would you read it? And he said, "Oh, sure." And like, it's kind of crazy to me looking back at that and to think like how many times I got him to do it. I mean, you know, he was so perfect for it. And like when he messed up, like I said, no, he's like, oh, should I? I'm like, no, I want you to say it the way that you said it there. Because I was like, you know, like he's like Zelda 64, the Ocarina of Time, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like I intentionally wrote a few things like kind of weirdly because I like wanted just
you want to trip him up.
I just wanted to see what was going to fall out of his mouth. I mean, that's the point. That was the whole point, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a very last minute $5 from Craig Wan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Asking on the subject of food, have you guys ever had Filipino food? Are there any restaurants out there in your area? I don't think I have.
I don't think I have either.
But I, you know, my grandma on my dad's side, you know, during her last years, way back like 2005, early 2000s, she had like she had some in-home help who was from the Philippines. And whenever my dad, I unfortunately wasn't able to go see her during those years, but whenever my dad went out to California to help her out and attend to any of her business, I always heard very good things about the Filipino food that she would cook. My dad, she was a very, very good cook and made some nice ethnic foods. So maybe I should see if I can find some somewhere sometime.
There you go. There you go. Anyways, I think that's gonna do it. Thanks everybody for stopping by, and we will see you soon. Good night.
All right. Good night.
Good night.